Peace to the family. It's Brother Polite, and we have a very prized, special, and brilliant person on the show today. But before we go into it, and before we learn from her and gain great perspective, we're going to play this video to set the tone for tonight's discussion, which is called #Subhuman. And we're going to speak about cyberbullying and bullying in general. We're also going to speak about mental health, an issue that's greatly undermined. As a people, particularly when it comes to our demographic, we don't like to be called crazy, and we definitely don't want to be called sick or stupid. We got these things that's probably stemming from slavery in its inception, whereby we don't want to be called any of the following. In addition, when Black communities consider that someone might be suffering from mental health, it normally means someone's probably going to take our children away or administer some type of drugs. And we're afraid of that. So we're more reluctant to beseech someone for mental health in lieu of the fact that we may be exploited or victimized by the same. The parent certainly doesn't want to be blamed for a child's mental health. And unfortunately, a lot of adults are suffering from mental health issues that may have their inception from their early adolescence, from issues that never were resolved. And now they grow into adults, and we have adults walking around here with childhood issues going unaddressed because they don't have flu symptoms and they don't have bumps on their face. We're talking about mental health issues. So they're not as transparent as other type of health issues. So they go unmonitored, unmentioned, unremedied. So we're gonna have a great conversation today with you all to discuss these issues. We're gonna find out what kind of programs, opportunities our guest has, in addition to advice coming from real experiences and accounts. So stay tuned. Right now, we're going to share the screen. And this is a video. I like to thank the sister called Melanin Impact Online. She did a video. I don't know her personally, but when there was an attack recently on the fact that I'm raising my children and I don't make a distinction amongst them, and a young man, I cut his name out the video. It's not necessary, but a young man decided to say I'm a fraud because I didn't tell the people that one of my daughters is not my biological daughter. He doesn't realize the stress that was incurred on my daughter because of that. And now in turn, people have been DMing my daughter, calling her a fraud, saying that's not your father. Now mind you, I've been raising my daughter for you since she's about 6, 7 years old, okay? Straight into her 20s. So it's highly imperative that people realize that's a sensitive subject matter right there. I'm who she knows. Okay, she knows her biological father. But I've been around since time immemorial as far as she's concerned. My children grow up and make no distinction amongst her and the rest. And so it hurts to even be reminded that I'm not her biological father when the attack is coming at her through very paradoxical means, I should say. It's very paradoxical that people who contend to be about the Black community should try to finish a person's role in the family because I took this young sister in, who's now 20, as my very own. So this sister spoke on it, and I like the things that she said. So I want to just shout her out. She has a channel called Melanin Impact. And again, I don't know her, but someone sent me the video and I agreed with a lot of what she said, and she articulated herself without venom, without malice, without rage. She was straight to the point, and I want to showcase that type of behavior. So we'll play this video and then we'll proceed to introduce our guests and go into the conversation for today.
Emotionally rounds up to agree. Emotionally rounds up to agree, and also get on the bandwagon of attacking Polite. Again, I'm not saying Brother Polite is perfect. I'm saying let's do a better job in our critical analysis, okay, and that kind of work. Let's do a better job. Okay, so let's move on. Let's deal with the children. I have a real serious issue with this. And the reason being is because it's one thing for you brothers. All of you all are adults. And you can have your issues with one another, whether they are petty or not. It's fine. You address or attack one another for your information or misinformation, scholarship or pseudo scholarship. That's one thing. Why must you bring this brother's children into this argument? I have a problem with that. And young, you're not going to understand this until you become a father. I really don't think you're going to understand this until you become a father. It's Brother Polite's job to protect his family. That's his job. As head of his household, as co-head of his household, that's his job, to protect his family. And how dare any of us bring his innocent children into any kind of dispute, disagreement, or issue we might have with Brother Polite. That is over the top. That's too far, Brother Young. That's too far. That's too far. And let me tell you, I love you, love your spirit, love your energy. But I got to tell you, as your big sis, that is too far. And I take issue also to the fact that you can't see why that's too far. Because not only, while you're trying to expose Brother Polite, you pulled his baby in, you pulled his daughter in. You're arguing also that this is not his child. Brother Polite has a blended family. And when you have a blended family, it's like the Brady Bunch. It's like the Brady Bunch. You've got children from other relationships that come together now under a new family umbrella. For him to claim those older children as his own, and he's always done that. Since I've been watching him since 2010, he has always done that. But he was also clear that these were children that, he did not have biologically. He has not lied to say these were his birth daughters. He's just proclaimed them and embraced them as his own. And if you go back, if there's any way, I'm pretty sure there's still video on the internet. If you can trace back and do your research and you see the pride that he has in them and the love that they have for one another, you wouldn't even go there. You wouldn't even go there. So no, he's not their biological father, but he has fathered them. Let me footnote right here. We're going to pause and I'm going to footnote right here. With all of the incest, the molestation, and the perversion that goes on in our community, for a young man to take on these girls and to be a respectful father and a man before them and have a respectful relationship with them, that is something to admire. That is something to honor and acknowledge.
Okay. So we're back. Like I said, I commend that sister. That's what we got to do in the community. I commend that sister for putting in and getting some messages worthwhile from the womb, because there's a lot of men online and we go through our contentions and we go through our diatribes, but we don't oftentimes get an opportunity to hear the sisters speak about things that immediately affect the household. And I believe a lot of our problems can be resolved if we make way for the sisters who are running these households to have more of a voice so we can gain more perspective. Having said that, I want to bring our sister Deb on. I want her to come on. Unmute your mic, my sister.
I'm here. How are you?
How you doing, sis? I'm glad that you're on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
And I'm going to say just excuse me for 1 minute because I started chewing before that.
It's no problem.
I'm sorry. That's so deep. Like, first, it started aggravating me because.
Hey, before you go in, sister, just please formally introduce yourself to the members of the platform in case they don't know you from any reality TV shows. They don't know who your son is. Just in case for those people who don't.
So I'm not like, this is one thing. Like, my name is Dr. Antney. Yes, love hip hop. Yes, someone growing up in hip hop. Um, yes, I place artists, producers, and all the rest of that stuff out. So that's the first thing. I want to be known for me and not to have
That's
my identity taken away from me by my son. I was in this game long before my son, and
right.
before he was born.
No doubt.
Um,
And do you have an organization
so
or program?
I have B100 radio. Right? It's
Okay.
radio station. I started it out for independent artists, but now we've grown to be a top 40 station now, BDS top 40 station. But we're still an internet radio station. I have a thing that I'm doing called RIP. I stopped RIP for a minute, which is no reckless internet posting and no reckless intentions, period. And since then, I've developed now subhuman, hashtag subhuman. Okay, and that's one that is centered around mental health, because we seem to have a lot of issues dealing with mental health out here, and there's a lot going on right now. A lot of things is happening, and I think it's time now that God has blessed me with the platform that I have, and if I don't use it wisely, then guess what?
We go to no avail.
There you go. So
That's what
anything else question me. I'm not good at talking about me.
Oh, no doubt. Well, I wanted to get that off so people have a point of reference of where to find you after they're impressed by the things that you say. But I want you to proceed. And you left off where you said you yourself was starting to get angry just listening to.
Yeah, it's like when you spoke to me about that, it really kind of pissed me off because one, it's like, how dare you? And why do you feel like you have to explain this to anybody else? And then also, people got to be mindful of their behaviors today. They have to be mindful of this. And a father, like, people need to learn the definition of father. So here's something else that I summed up too, that maybe people were in their own little relationships and somebody didn't claim their children like that or didn't love their children like that. So a lot of things that people do today is based on some personal things. It's not factual. If anything, you should have been commended. And most of the time, the stepfathers are always better than the biological fathers anyway.
That's an interesting comment you made.
Yeah, so I think that's horrible, because now, what would have happened if you're the stepfather to this woman, but you never jealous the children, you never done all of these different things, then who would you be then? So it's sort of like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
That's right.
Here's something that I learned, okay? The haters are your marketing tools. And nobody to be upset with. That's what helped me get along from the hatred things that people want to say. At one time, I wouldn't touch the internet. I wouldn't do any of it because the pain that was lashed out from there, like they really act like you're inhuman and you don't feel. But I find that person, and forgive me for this or whatever, but it's only my opinion, that it's so personal for them, and it's something that they need to dig into. And I think they need to pay attention to a mirror and have a conversation with me in the mirror and really find out, what is this really about? Why are you so angry that somebody else is claiming a child? I think somebody should think about, if somebody else was handling their business, you wouldn't be able to claim a child.
That's right.
Okay, or how do they know the child's biological dad is not deceased? And a daddy is one thing, but a father is deep. That's deep. So anybody could be a daddy, but I think you still should be happy that you was considered a father. Even if no one's falsified, they use the word father in there, and that's big. That's big within itself. They didn't say daddy, because sometimes we'll come along with daddy. So this was different. So father. I commend you, and I know a whole lot of other women that commend you, and never stop doing what you're doing.
Right up. I appreciate that, sister. And I mean, we live in a day and time where it's understandable where a lot of brothers will say, I don't want to mess with no woman who got any children. But if you consider how many broken family households exist in our community, I mean, I think it's a part of manhood, and I'm not encouraging all men because everybody doesn't have the same mental fortitude or the father instinct or parental instincts and abilities. So of course, I wouldn't commission everybody to indulge. However, it takes a great deal of humility and love to bring in someone as your very own child and to establish harmony within the confines of that little community we call a family. It takes a lot of maturity, patience, and you just genuinely just have to have love for children. And we're missing that in the community, and I think that's also part of a mental health issue. I know you yourself have a family member, your son, on account of some kind of internet bullying.
I've actually lost 2 sons.
2 sons.
Yes.
One of which was to bullying, was it not?
No.
Can you elaborate?
No. Let me clarify something. The reason why
Okay.
I went to no RIP, because no RIP with no reckless internet posting was just something prior to him committing suicide. We just went through a big thing in the kitchen about, and he was upset because his retinas had detached and he was going blind. But he was so angry at the fact that I can't even help you. Like he was like in tears, like, and he was raging. Like when he read things that people had said, he's like, what could I do to help you? So what happens if a day if I can't see and people come at you and I can no longer protect you? So the internet caused a lot of things there. And I snatched that part of it, mainly because the internet bullying was something. The things that they said about me, the things they said about, they should call him an albino because he had red hair and he had freckles. So it's like just crazy things that they talked about Waka. You know, they just said a whole bunch of things. That's what people do. They just say a lot of things and they actually think people don't feel. You understand what I'm saying? And at that time, things did bother me because there was a lot of lies, and every time you came up with people was popping up saying what they heard, or every time you go somewhere there's a whisper and they're saying something that's false, that's not true. So I chose the internet because that was the last thing he was raging about. Okay, and he was upset. He was upset. So I chose the internet bullying. Bullying was big. It was something that was very, very big, and it was something he didn't like. But it wasn't the actual cause of suicide. It played roles because it all destroyed my family also. My family was destroyed by the rumors and all the things of what people did. It put a lot of voids within my family. So it played major roles, but it wasn't the cause.
I dig it. Definitely plays a role. And so what would be a suggestion from a mother perspective for having children that grow successful? Because I'll tell you this, I never imagined in my life so many people that the relationship is very congruent. What I mean by that is there's a lot of people who will know you and a lot of people at the same time you don't know of. So you feel me? Like a lot of people know you to an extent. But one thing that's for sure, they know you more than you know them because they're just virtual. They're using names. And so it's hard to be prepared. I never had a class to prepare me for trolls.
I know that's
for
right.
people that just, you know, so it's overwhelming. I had nights where I cried. I had nights where I was so overwhelmed. My children didn't want me to be an activist no more and contributing to the community because they didn't understand it, because we had this conception that, you know, people are not that bad. And, you know, we looking to uplift the community, though we have different views, but we never conceived that people would be so mean, so antagonistic. And of course we would believe some people might be agents and this might be their job. But overall, I believe these are regular people Sick people, I should say. I want to say regular. But these are human beings.
Let me
sitting in
say
their house.
there actually a lot of them are people that actually sit right next to you.
I believe that. I believe that. I believe they're closer than we would even imagine.
Always in arm's distance. You understand what I'm saying? But let me just share this with you. One thing about the movie Scarface, he said, you need people like me to point the finger at. So say hello to the bad guy. And that's what I accepted. That's me. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I accepted. And I took on that role. And guess what? The day that I took that on and I was able to deal with those things is the day that I became alive again. Because it had killed me off.
You're saying embracing the role as the bad guy may help people cope with the virtual oppression?
It's okay. If that's who you need me to be, and if I need to be the topic of your subject, that's a blessing. Because how many people out there that nobody speak about, that nobody knows anything about? So I'm happy. I'm happy that I mean that much to you, that you want to conversate about me. I am happy that I mean that much to you, that you live your day and night trying to destroy me. See, sweetheart, there is nobody out there that I hate that much. So see, in order for you to do that, you got to cast the person to hell. And you ain't worth me being in hell with. I got to be there with you. So when I cast you away and I'm doing all these things, I got to sit with you there. Because morning, noon, and night, I'm spending my days and nights doing nothing but looking and saying and going through all of these things. It's okay. And I always let people know it's okay. But ain't nobody worth me. But I'm not on my back with you. I'm going to bury myself with you. I'm not going there with you. But I do appreciate you for thinking about me that much. Good, bad, or indifferent. I thank you for that. Because there's a lot of people who want people to talk about them. So a lot of people want people to acknowledge them. But guess what? I was chosen. And I humbly take that one. I'm good with it. I don't really give a damn. I don't care anymore. So once upon a time, I cared. But here's another thing I always tell people. You have to be careful of people that love somebody so much, and then they turn around and hate them. You have to beware of people like that. Now you have to ask yourself some questions. If once upon a time, everything that came out your mouth was this person, but now you hate this person, what's going on? But now they did all these things, but every time you walk in a meeting, you know, I was affiliated with Deborah Amy. I was working with Deborah Amy. And me and Deborah Amy was doing all these things and was doing it. But I'm that same person that did all of these things. See, look, people got to wake up. So I know that I don't have the issue. I got issues, but maybe not those issues. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel you. Going in hard in the paint. You going in. Going in.
You know what I'm saying? I've never really conversate about any of the stuff. I think the problem is because I've never spoke on all the incidents of the different things or addressed the things that people have said. I've just, you understand? But I was in Allentown, and I was up at this company, and I was meeting with all these people, and they were all Caucasian people at that. It was so funny. So I walk in the man's office, he has a whole table lined up with me of things he found on the internet, right? And he started laughing. He said, I definitely want you to be my friend. And I looked at him like, now I'm defensive all the way because I know things that people have said. But what he did, you know, he's a computer analyst, like the whole company of the things of what they, all the things that they create and they make it there. He said, the funniest thing is, all the people that you've done all these things to are very successful. The next thing is that he's never heard interviews from them saying this stuff about me. And he's never ever found any of the things that I'm supposed to, quote unquote, done to be true.
That's right.
Okay? So in all these years now, everything should surface up to the top. everything should be right.
What's going on? Did it cut? Her stream froze. Let's see if she get back on. She was just going in. What I'm gonna do is bring in, I'm gonna hope that Dennis contact her, touch base with her to get her back online, let her know that her connection must have froze.
We on it right. We on it. We on it. We on it right now.
Let's get Lila, or let's get Sister Oprah on and Minister Inky on, and let's do some building about mental health until she gets back in. So Minister Inky or Oprah, whichever one's first, come through. There you go, Minister Inky.
Peace,
also
peace.
known as Green Screen David Banner. Got his mic now.
Hey.
Tom gave me that name. I like it. But yeah, man. So I want to say that I think it's real dope how this sister is so refined in her communication about dealing with the trolling, dealing with the virtual
down for some reason.
My internet went down.
Oh, hold on a second.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
She's coming back. Yeah, please mute the mic. Thank you. So, Minister Inky, what have you learned so far from what she was saying? I believe it's great insight coming from a different age group and a different gender, and she definitely has a great deal of success behind her. Starting from her household outward, she has a great deal of success. So what she says to me has more credibility because she's in the moment. It's not just good advice, in my opinion. She's living in the moment.
That's right.
And
And I think there's a direction that you can go to from the textbooks, you know, where it talks about people that deal with traumatic experiences, people who have been molested and people who have been taken advantage of become predatory in their relationship and how they see others. I think that's one direction, but to be able to talk from experience is a whole nother dynamic to be able to unfold from years of wisdom as a mom, and to live through these things and turn the adversity into success in the business place is invaluable, especially on a platform like this where we can share it with the community.
No doubt. Sister Deb, you can unmute your mic. We were just speaking about your wisdom gained through years of success, and that's why it adds credibility to your conveyance. Everything that you're saying is not like you're saying the right thing because it sounds right. You're saying the right thing because you live in the experience, and damn it, you're still successful. Your success is still pending. So therefore,
but you can't say
it's great.
A person could never determine my success because they don't know my goals. My success is going to come when I'm gone. That's going to determine if I was successful. If I was able to leave a legacy behind, then you could say she was successful. It's my
Well,
legacy.
I tell you this, where I'm from, I'm a success because I made it to 30 years old and I'm still.
I heard that.
So I guess it's perception as well, but I definitely understand what you're saying. I like that. Actually, everybody's intention should be to leave a legacy here,
right? Because
they'll build a body of work and they won't grow content with the little milestones that take place in their life, which might make them lazy. So I love your perspective. It'll keep us grinding straight through the end.
You know, the cool part about it is because, okay, I did that. Okay, I did this. But now I need to do some more things. And the things that I did in the beginning, I wasn't necessarily politically correct on how I should do things. So because I'm a nurturer, my thing is to always take care of other people. And I come last. You understand what I'm saying? So now this go around, I now know how to take care of me and them. I know how to do that now. So I just looked at all of that. That was the school of hard knocks that I went through then. But now I'm ready and I'm coming out totally different this trip.
Got you. And Well, I'll also ask this question right here. Because we're talking about mental health as well.
Right.
What exactly does mental health mean and represent to you, particularly in the case of our people? What do you feel we're struggling with in terms of mental health, and what are you doing to kind of combat it? Or what suggestions do you have for us to combat mental health?
Okay, so I'm still putting the subhuman together, hashtag subhuman, and it's something that I'm still putting together. But I really want to bring awareness to mental health, and it's for several reasons. You know, the suicide thing was something that came to me, you know, like that was something like, okay, what are we going through? Then it was a nephew of mine that was placed inside of a prison that he had a mental illness. And when we came here, they didn't have facilities like how they have in New York. So instead of from the hospital, they put him inside of prison. In prison, a lot of things was going on for something that a kid that can't read or do any of these things or have no comprehension to anything that's going on, you know? Not just him, but his other people through that struggle of what we go through with him. I've met so many other people along the way. Here we go. So last year, because I'll go in from one thing after the other, I'll continuously go in and talk about these. Last year, they did, what's the thing that they call here in Atlanta that they do? Not South by Southwest, but the A3C. A3C did something last year, and I spoke to them and I wanted to do mental health. They said, oh no, mental health will never work. It wouldn't work. Well, they turned around and did and gave a little bitty room, but guess what? The room was so filled up, and there were so many people on the outside, and people had an extreme attitude because it ended too quickly. There were so many people within that room that had so many things to talk about. Here's the thing. People have to understand all the things that's listed under mental health. There's a lot of things that we go through every day. We're all bipolar. We're just that much into a breaking point. Bipolar comes in from trauma. When you have traumatizing things happen to you, okay? People are OCD. They don't think that's mental health. That is mental health. It's about little things that people think. Attention deficit disorder. Here's another thing that I learned as some doctors come on my radio station, and this is what they said. Within the urban community, every kid gets treated for the same thing because they have the same diagnosis. But here's the thing that they never studied them for, okay? If your child doesn't sleep very well through the night, your child is snoring, your child is going through it, when your child gets to school, they're tired. So that's a little bit of sleep apnea that plays a part in it. I had psychiatrists and I had doctors that was in here and they talked about that. Don't be so quick to put your child on these medications. Also note that certain pills that are given, and don't you find that funny that every hospital give you the same kind of pill, pharmaceutical pill? You know why? Because they get a check. The more prescriptions they write, the more checks they receive. Okay, so they're bringing harm to us. There's a lot of harm that's coming to us that nobody want to say. And the reason why mental health is so strong in our community is because everybody associate mental health with, I ain't crazy. I ain't crazy. What's wrong with me? Something's wrong with all of us. We all have issues. So if you don't acknowledge it, now when it gets to become so bad, where you going after that? You know, when I looked at, and I might piss some people off, and it's okay. Stephen Stevenson, I tried to call his phone myself. And I felt so bad for this man because this man was reaching out for help a lot. Now, being a case manager, I know that there are times you've got to take a break from listening to everybody else's issue. That will wear and tear on you. It's the same way with no RIP. I had to drop that because it was killing me inside. People was dying left and right, and people was calling, and how do I get through this? And I said, oh God, what did I do? What door did I swing open? And was I really ready for Pandora's box? Was I ready to walk into there? I don't think so. So there's a lot of things there. Even, I'm so sorry because I'm so scrambled up with this. Even for this guy, he was begging for help and nobody wanted to hear him. He was begging. And you know, we are so quickly, and I'm going to be the first to admit that. I underestimate my children also. We all do. We all want to associate different things. Oh, come on, you get on my nerve. Come on with that stuff. That's not right. That's not right. If there's an issue there, we have to stop and start acknowledging some of these things. We have to. We have
That's
to.
true.
It's real. It's real. It's in our food. It's in so much stuff now. You have to look at all the things that's going on now. But what happened? Like, how I get here to be here this long? Some of this stuff wasn't here when I was a kid, or if it was there, it just was a vision. Our children are becoming male black boys with this autism. They're getting these shots, and now your child is walking around today, and tomorrow that child has autism. People are not paying attention to that. There's so many things here that we need to be getting into outside of worrying about who you fathering, worrying about who I'm stealing from, worrying about all these other things. There's other things we need to get into with. Even when they talk about Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter when it's convenient for you for it to matter.
Damn, you're going in.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Doesn't matter when it's only for you. That's it. People have to pay attention. The crime rate for black on black crime is stronger than a white on black.
This is a fact.
Okay,
It's
so
a fact.
I think people need to understand it might not be a pistol, but you shoot people every day. Every time you say something negative, you just shot your brother or your sister down that you quote unquote want to talk about Black Lives Matter. It only mattered for what you wanted to matter for. So when the march is going on, the march just went on and then it stopped. We don't have any more Martin Luther Kings. You know, and that's another thing. I'm gonna get shut down with this one too, and it's okay because I'm ready for it. To all my black women. All is this other thing that are legs closed and pocketbooks open. It is time to get back to the business. It is time for women to take over their households. It's not about whose breast is bigger. It's not about whose ass is bigger. It's the wrong things that people are going for now. No more cooking. No more taking care of things. It's a lot of work that we have, and we was built to take on all these responsibilities. And it is time that we take our men back over. We're losing our men. We're losing them.
No doubt.
And
you're conscious. You know you was conscious.
You mad. You upset. But look at who you are and what you're doing. Women competing against their children. How do you compete against your daughter? How do you do that? 20 years old, you could be a grandmother now. Where's this coming from?
That's right.
Take a look at what's going on. So here's another thing. Well, I learned this. My brother talked to me. Oh, are we out?
We got you.
Okay.
You cooking,
we only
they
have
love
our
you.
children 1/3 of a day. Okay. So now here's what people need to relax. Stop blaming yourself for everything that your child do. It has nothing to do with you, even though it's your child. Am I on?
You definitely on.
Okay, cool.
They love you.
Even though,
I just want to tell you that they are feeling what you're saying.
okay.
They are loving what you're saying.
Even though it's your child, we know that. But let's go here for the day. Let's start our day. Some of us get up at 5. Some of us get up at 6. Some of us get up at 7, and we're out the door. Kids, let's go. 6 o'clock, you're coming back in. Some people from work. It's 6 o'clock. You pick the kids up from the daycare, extracurricular activities. All these other little things are going on, right? Now you're rushing them back in to get enough time to feed them. Bath time, time to go to bed. And the process starts all over again. Now,
that's right.
The schools that we're sending our children to, what the hell going on? Teachers, what is wrong with men going and a 13-year-old child look appealing? I know they're very healthy today. Women, what little 14-year-old boy you want to screw? Now let me introduce you to the silver bullet, and that will take care of you, and it will not give you no problems at all. I just thought I'd add that in there too. References that for when you want to look at them little kids, you can just always think about starships all over the place. Get into you and learn who you are, since we have some little sexual frustration. That's mental health problems right there. So now you have
That's
to
right.
look at what is teaching us. The teachers in the school selling drugs, hanging out with the kids buying drugs. Think about all of these things. This ain't necessarily got to be a reflection on you. It doesn't have to be a reflection on you. So I am definitely one that did a lot of things in my time, but I sheltered my sons and my daughters. I sheltered my kids. They were not allowed into anything, and everything was taboo because at that time, our children were seen but not heard. You did not come in a conversation with an adult. You would not buck back up. Here's another thing. They took our powers away from us as parents. They gave the children the power to say, oh, you hit me? I'm dialing 911. I wish any of my kids would have ever told me some crap like that.
Hey, they can even divorce you now.
Okay, so now you tell me what's wrong with these pictures, but Black Lives Matter, but we don't hang out together.
That's right.
We're not really supporting each other on the things we.
Ah, come on. This is rocking. I hope so. It froze again. Sister Deb is on fire. She got the chat lit. Y'all better commend this sister. Y'all say y'all want to hear these black women step up to the plate. Tell me she not keeping that real. She kicking that real. And y'all know that.
Man.
And we're about to go in with the sciences with the mental health. But y'all just need to reflect on this because this is coming from an OG. What's up, Oprah? How you feeling, sister?
Sorry earlier. I was listening. She's going in. I love
There
every
you go.
minute
Talk
of it.
to me about it. Talk to me.
Every minute. What she's saying is so true. I mean, especially with the whole Black Lives Matter, and black people don't even hang around each other. We don't even, you know, we say these things. Is her computer unfrozen? Oh my God, I want her to unfreeze. I want her to come back. I was feeling it. The chat room loves it. God, I need her to come back on. Cyberbullying is an issue. And it was something I actually wanted to talk about because I've been through all that. And I feel like people try to fuck up your reality on virtual reality. You know what I'm saying? So they will come for you, but it's like they don't understand that what it does in your real world.
They love you, but you just come
That
back
Dennis
to
coming through?
Hey,
Dennis.
Brother D, put it on mute, my brother.
But yeah, so it is an issue, and it was a point where I was wanting to like press charges and go to the police about things that people were saying on the internet about me, you know. And her son unfortunately took his life, but and that happens all the time to people, and people don't understand how far people go so far they don't see no limits on the internet, because on the internet you can be whoever you want to be. You can be a monster if you want to be. You know what I'm saying?
It's very cowardly. It's cowardly.
Yeah.
And you know, I love to give the sisters the platform, but we don't just give any sister the platform, because on some people's platforms, they like to get you the most ridiculous women they possibly can find to misrepresent the whole damn race so they can perpetuate these generalizations.
Right.
When we have a sister here to speak, we know when you teach a man, you teach an individual, you teach a woman. Or you raise a man, you raise an individual. When you raise a woman, you raise a nation.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The problem is, though, I'm going to tell you what I think a problem is, too. The problem is, unfortunately, because the black men have become so effeminate, that might put them in check. See, I credit a great deal of my success to my wife of 19 years because she wasn't afraid to tell me I was effing up. It's because of her. Her job, worked 2 jobs, gave me 1 check, said, look, I believe in you. I can't give you what you make on them streets. But when I came home from murder, she told me, look. And I was so in awe because my wife was highly, let's just call it what it is. She was ratchet back then. Okay, her neck was moving like this whenever she spoke. Her eyes, she could probably fly away the way she was doing that shit. But listen, when she showed me that love, and this is something that we want to talk to the women about. When she showed me that love, and she's still aggressive, but when she made the aggression subside and have a heart-to-heart, like, baby, I know I can't give you what you make on them streets, but I believe in you, and I see something in you don't even see in yourself.
Right.
And man, I turned into the person that I am today. So that's why I say the black woman is my God. She's my Lord. She's my. You feel me? I'm not trying to knock nobody's religion, but everyone's entitled to their own religion. So in my world, the black woman is my God. She's my Lord. She's my Savior. She's the reason why I the gangbang. She's the reason why I became a damn teacher. You feel what I'm saying? So it is highly that the sisters speak out and don't be afraid.
Right.
To show love. Don't be afraid to hug a brother and say, listen, I'm not saying hug any anonymous brother.
Right.
I'm saying if you're in a relationship with a brother, sisters, sometimes the best thing you can do to diffuse the argument is not meet him with masculine aggression. Tell that man you love him. Just tell him you love him. Because if he can't use the situation with just a sentiment of love or some acknowledgement of love, then he is out his damn mind and he needs help before he can get into a relationship with a woman. Because really and truly, if I get too upset, all my woman gotta do, give me a little hug. Say, baby,
Right.
calm down. Divine feminine energy that get me back in my right state of mind. If a man can't get back in his right state of mind with love, then you know he's not prepared for your level of maturity. And he may need help. And it may not be your job to be his damn doctor at that time.
Right.
So you see, like, you know, I was told we're not clocks. So it's not our responsibility to go around trying to wake everybody up. You feel what I'm saying? So we show love, but we don't want to give so much love that we wind up depleting ourselves of the love that we need to strive day to day for our own self. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's a wonderful thing that we live in a day and time where sisters like y'all, different age groups, different genres, different attributes. I think it's a wonderful and blessed day that no one can have an excuse as to say or to confide in the generalizations and stereotypes that's made about our Black women. Let me play this one video. I see we got Mr. Deb here. I want to get y'all opinions on it. This is Sister Oprah Deb that's on here. She normally contributes. She's very good at tech. She builds apps and websites and everything. She's extremely good. And of course, that's our brother, Minister Inky. He's very much so into holistic health like myself. And we go into economics. I want y'all to listen to this. This should get you going. You're going to share this video. It's very interesting. Tell me what you think about this right here.
Behind it. See, I know most women are kind of crazy, so you can't have 4 crazy bitches, and I got bad luck with choosing women. Because I came from a house full of hoes. So I'm attracted to hoes. I'm at least honest.
Tommy, please, brother. Oh, this is a job for Green Street David Banner. We just want to see how he looks.
No. This conversation is taking a nasty turn. I don't know.
No, we just had to get a word from my sponsor, Green Street David Banner. Okay. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what she's saying holds the truth. At the end of the day, that's why I started. We can't
do that.
Huh?
Just say
I'm trying to be young Pharaoh.
That being said,
may I interrupt? May I interrupt one time?
You can enter in the second time this goes over. It be a race in a house full of hoes.
Yeah, I'm saying, look, they were hoes. Us in a 3-bedroom house. Hold on, I can explain it. There was 13 of us in a 3-bedroom house. It was all women and children, not a man in sight. They were my mom and her sisters.
Come on, Tommy.
Why do Black people believe you can't? Okay, so I can tell the truth and say my dad was a deadbeat. Nobody's ever stopped me from saying that. Nobody's ever had a fucking problem when you go off on your daddy. But if you say the facts, you just proved my point of what I was telling you at the beginning of the show. I said when Black women get babies, you can't say nothing negative about them. You literally just said, come on, Tommy, when I pointed out to you, a house full of women and children.
You just said your mother and your aunt is a hoe amongst the hoes that raised you.
At that moment, I just said I was a. Why do you think I can't say that about people by the acts they're doing? I don't get it.
All right, hold on. So I think we got enough. I think this guy is fucking crazy. Yeah. So now that you heard that, Sister Deb, are you on? You with us?
I just hear.
So what you think about that particular clip where the man says, Brother Tommy Sotomayor, he was raised in a house full of hoes, and when I asked him, what hoes in particular? My mother and my aunt. What do you think about a black man who says it with such conviction, live on air for thousands of people to hear it. Because right now that thing is in the 100,000s between Facebook and YouTube, just on my media alone. Yes. What's your sentiment on that?
Pleasure speaking. Okay. And on another incident that I've had the pleasure, I actually didn't know anything about him until they start, you know, the girl was telling me about him. Here's the thing, okay? I'm gonna get lashed at again, but it's okay, bring it to me. I'm not justifying the disrespect that he has for his mother, okay? But I also gotta play devil's advocate. What did his mother ever do to disrespect him? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is something I believe, and I have sons, and it is something that I believe. You teach them how to treat a woman by your behaviors, okay? Women have to understand everybody don't see your front door.
That's right.
You cannot bring everybody home with you. You cannot let that male child see you in and out the bed with different men, drunk, high, going through all of these different things that you do. The first encounter that a man has with a woman is his mother. So that right there, my question came, like I said, when I first time I ever spoke to him and I got a whiff of him, I stopped. I thanked him for coming onto my platform to acknowledge some of the things that was going on, but I then wanted to thank him for coming in. And I also said, as a woman, I apologize to you for anything that a woman has ever done to you. And he became silent. He did not buck at me, he didn't do anything. When men beat their mother, when men beat their women, they're beating their mother. Do you understand what I'm telling you? As children, we're able to play head games and we can bury a lot of things. That's why there's so many screwed up adults. Because them walls start dropping and you start remembering and you start reliving things.
That's right.
You know what my son said to me? He said, you don't even love me. He said, you were so hard because I was their mother and their father. And I had boys, and then, you know, your sons just couldn't do different things, or they was going to be this way, they was going to be that way, or whatever.
Right.
They got minimum affection from me. And you want to know something? I had to acknowledge that. And I also had to apologize for it.
Wow.
Because I had to take on two roles. I'm already an aggressive female. I already was placed in positions that I didn't want to be in. I had no choice. So there was lots of me that didn't know how to react to different things because all I knew how to do was survive. That was it. And I was raised by men. So I was very close to my father. I was very close to my uncles. They meant a lot to me. But I always knew my body was a temple and everybody couldn't get it. I definitely knew that. So there's some things that was just instilled into me. But when I look at Tommy Sotomayor, I feel for him. And that's just so real because I don't know the world that he came from. See, you can't pass judgment on people. As a child, guess what I wanted to be? I didn't want to be the lawyer or the doctor or the Indian chief. I wanted to be the biggest drug dealer in the world because that's the life I was introduced to. I was introduced into these things. Not that that's what I wanted to do. Things that I've done in my life, it wasn't what I wanted to do. It was what I was taught to do. So guess what? If the people that raised me thought these things, who the hell are you to tell me anything different? I don't know that man's story, so I can't pass judgment on him. No, it ain't right what he's doing. But what is right? If he's never been taught right, then how do he don't know? If he's never been loved by a woman or the one woman in his life that he needs the love from, it's not us. The one woman in his life that doesn't acknowledge him, I'm not saying that that's the case, but apparently because he slashes them out a lot, that plays a role. And I just got to be 100 with it. Whether it's me or anybody else, we all make mistakes. but how fast do we forget? Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that I went through. There was no books on being a parent. There was no books on really being a girl. You was taught these certain things that girls can do, what they can do and what they can't do. Yes. I'm in a damn business that's dominated by men, and I'm slaughtered every day. Every time they can slaughter me, they try. They just don't know what I'm built to do. They don't know the walls that's built around me. They don't even know how I was raised. So I'm not intimidated by them. When I heard you talk about the sister that you're with, all men are not like that. Some men are very, very passive, and they're intimidated by strong women. I'm a very aggressive man, and I'm very strong, but I know my role. I know my role. You just got to secure me and let me know. Stay in your place. I don't need you to tell me, I need you to show me. But then I also need you to know that if I take your back, it doesn't mean weakness. It just means a unit right there. I got you. You don't know everything like I don't know everything. But I definitely know my place. I'm 100% woman. 100%. Okay? And I know I got your back and I got your front if I need to have that too. That's just how it is. I can't help who I am. And I'm sorry. I can't sit there and walk behind you and sit around and I'm scared to say things. No, you should be happy I am the way I am.
That's right.
Because if you can't do it, like you said, you did 2 jobs, you got a check. That's how it's supposed to be in your household. Okay? Now, ain't no trick. But if that's your man and you know that's your man and you know what he's capable of doing, then you invest in that man. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes these things happen. Like they happen like this, and this is what you have to do. And that's what I'm telling you, that we have to take back over our households. We have to take control of our households once again. It's not happening. And women have to step up to the plate. So let me just be clear on something. I pray for that guy. But here's the next thing. All those people that go on that page is just as sick as hell. Do you feel what I'm saying?
I feel you.
That's what you have to understand. Just because you feed into it. And what they don't understand is that they're adding fuel to the fire. He needs help. Somebody needs to take that man by his hand. I wish I was there to just hug him. And because I know he's going through some things. And I feel for him. And that's why I apologize to him for anything that a woman may have done to him. And that's just real. So I can't slaughter that man. I can't say all these things. That's some of the things that I don't like. That's what's wrong with our men now. They're beat down too much by us. We beat our men down now. Women are in position today that they're the dominating factor, like the head of their household. That's who's making that money right now. So it's made it up for women and it declines on our men. But that doesn't make you different. And it doesn't make you, like, if that's your significant other, it's your significant other. Point blank, period. I could do for you like you could do for me, and we could do for each other. Nothing more than I want, because I am a breadwinner. I don't want to stop. Right. Let me explain something to you. I definitely know how to go to work. I definitely know how to take care of kids. I damn sure could cook. Okay? I know how to do all those things in one. I know how to be every woman. I know that. I don't need help in my bedroom with nobody, with another one, because you're not going to be able to handle me. I know how to be everything and anything that you need me to be. That's the security that people have to have within themselves. They have to know who they are. And that's just real.
You're amazing, sister. Hey, now I'm listening to you, so I just want your perspective. So watch this right here. Because, you know, I go around in different communities. And if I think brothers is tripping, or they just putting things or taking them totally out of context and misleading the people spiritually, I step to them, I record it, and we get it in. So what I want you to do, listen to this real quick and give me your thoughts.
Now, what do? You're married to her. You can't divorce her. You can't beat her. You can't kill her. What do? You call her a bitch. And brother, you do it. You do it until, Do it until it strikes home. Do it with every sentence. Do it like it's an exclamation point. Do it, shut up, bitch. This bitch, something that bitch. Do it like it's her name. Do it. Just keep saying it. Keep doing it until she just cannot take it anymore. Give her something to feel. Bitch. That's your kids here. And your kids come in the room and say, son, I'm saying this to your mother. You remember this. You remember this. Never let a woman take away your courage. Take away your honor. Never do it. You do this when you grow up. If you have the misfortune to marry a woman that says things like your mother says to me, you let your sons hear it. You let your daughters hear what they should. Now, what do? You're married to her. You can't divorce her. You can't beat her. You can't kill her. What do? You call her a bitch. And brother, you do it. You do it until, do it until it strikes home. Do it with every sentence. Do it like it's an exclamation point. Do it, shut up, bitch. This bitch, something that bitch. Do it like it's her name. Do it. Just keep saying it. Keep doing it until she just cannot take it anymore. Give her something to feel. Bitch. That's your kids here. And your kids come in the room and say, son, I'm saying this to your mother. You remember this. You remember this. Never let a woman take away your courage. Take away your honor. Never do it. You do this when you grow up. If you have the misfortune to marry a woman that says things like your mother says.
We got the point.
You let your sons hear it. You let your daughters.
All right, so yeah, what you think about? Because he's teaching from the Bible. He's a Hebrew Israelite, and according to the Bible, he done found the quote where you can castigate the black women and lead that kind of charge, and not just do it in front of babies. Do it in front of your son. Do it in front of the daughter.
Listen to me. And guess what I would tell him?
Hold on. I'm ready for this.
Just add that miss, because you got to still teach the kids some respect. Let me be Miss Bitch. Okay? just push that there in the front. It's just as simple as that. He's sick. And is he by himself? Do he have anybody?
Well, he's with a bunch of men, I can tell you that, because they all believe in that.
He's not with a real woman, or he's gotten a woman that's intimidated. You have a lot of women that are intimidated and that are scared, that go through those kind of things. And you do have men that like try to take advantage of those kind of things. You understand what I'm saying? So
No doubt.
I just think he should put a miss in the front of it. Like, and teach the kids some respect if they want to call somebody that, but let him be Miss. He's sick. Okay, so
yeah.
He's sick.
I don't, and when I laugh, I only be laughing because I don't believe people like this exist. And again, I believe
it's real.
What's that?
It's
definitely real.
It's real. But it's let me say something to you that's so good. Because we live in America.
That's correct.
We live in America, okay? So we have freedom of speech. So it's okay. He can do anything he wants to do, and you have a choice. You have a choice to listen or to let it fall on deaf ears. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's so good about everything that's going on with us now. We don't have to go through all that. We don't have to accept that. We don't have to pay that any attention. You have a choice. And guess what? Guess what? He just fell on deaf ears. He cannot rent no space in my head for free. He ain't paying me. He can't stay there.
Well, religion is a hell of a drug. When the
I don't get into religion. See, let me say something to you. That's one thing. That's a dangerous subject. I don't get into that. I don't go through that stuff. I always tell people that tell me, oh, you got to be in church and be in church and do that. No, boo. That's where all the sinners is. That's the worst place to be sitting up inside. I tell you, on that one day out of the week, they want to come here, Lord, please forgive me everything I did last week. And when I walk out of here, I'm about to go in and I'll see you next Sunday. And I might come in for a little on the Wednesday to go through some Bible study and to go through all that kind of stuff. See, I ain't with all that. I ain't with all that. God didn't say you had to be sitting up inside of there. You know, they get a little ridiculous. Jesus hung out with thieves and whores.
That's right.
So the hell are you that you can't be around people and you think you better than everybody else?
It's true.
You know, I tell people, they say, well, you know, I thought because you be doing all that, that's your problem because you thought that. I am human. I duck bill collectors. I eat like you do. I sleep like you do. Guess what? And if I get sick, we're going to wind up in the same hospital. We're in the same city. We might end up in the same morgue. There was nothing designed there. So what's the real difference? But that religious stuff, that's out of my league. I don't champion the
Yeah, just one more for the game before we get the people to connect with you. I'm interested in your take with this one.
Oh, Jesus.
Men, if they saw a woman that they like, they can grab the woman up and rape the woman, man. and we're going to read the scriptures. Let me say this. I'm listening. Most women dream about that.
It's true. It's
all
true.
right? If somebody was to rape your grandbaby that's 12 years old, you will be all right with that, God forbid. You will be all right in the kingdom. I couldn't do nothing about it in the kingdom. In the kingdom is
What do you mean by the kingdom? This is getting crazy, man. No God,
How do you feel?
no culture, no community is about to accept that God would have been all right with a woman being raped.
No, you figure
because that's your mind. That's your mind.
Not my mind.
That was my mind. That's my problem. That's your problem.
That's my being a
I thought the same
That's
thing.
my being a man.
I thought the same thing.
A man, a husband, and a father wouldn't condone no doctrine that say at 12 years old or any age that it's permissible for someone to be raped.
So give me Judges. Judges 19.
No sane man is going to accept the doctrine.
Men, if they saw a woman that they
Okay,
like,
we're going to get this one right here.
I have to ask you a question. How many of your fathers here? Just be for real. If you're a father. Now, what if someone is overwhelmed by the spirit of the Most High God, and he reads your scripture, and he take your daughter, and he just raped your daughter? What do you say to that? When you see one of each other's daughters, you just grab her up. You gonna tell one of these brothers here, come on, you know the doctrine. You know how we get when you get.
Well, answer it.
We just told you that
how would y'all respond?
in this time, that was
But if it did happen, you would allow it to happen. Why? Because you go back to the scriptures.
You're supposed to be a brother.
We're going to get women when they 12 years old.
Right.
All right? Say it again. As soon as they start in the kingdom of heaven, when their period starts, that's when they become a woman.
Okay.
All right? So we're going to deal with them when their period starts.
Right.
When their monthly starts.
Question.
Have sex with them. Have babies, man. With 12-year-olds. Brother, there's in the kingdom, we're going to do that, man. We're going to get them young.
I have to ask you a question.
Now y'all understand my job out here. This is why so many people want to kick my ass. Because I be going to these people and I be showing people, black community on the streets with their Bibles out and their bug-infested sheets. Yo, sister, tell me what you think about them. How much love do they need versus a fucking part of my language? Don't calm down.
You can go there. You got to pass. Go there.
Versus the ass fucking kicking they deserve to get. They talking about have sex with these
I want to
women.
know how many of them have women. And the next thing, I want to know
They got grandbabies.
their daughters that they sleep with. Their own daughters. Don't you understand that an 8-year-old girl can receive from administration? I work for the Department of Family and Children Services one time. There was a 10-year-old little girl that came in and she was pregnant, but she didn't know what was going on with her. And her grandfather had raped her. 10 years old. So here's this. At 20 years old, her mother will have a 10-year-old child, okay? At 25, that mother could become a grandmother, or even before that. That's sick. That's some sick stuff. And they ain't getting nothing anyway. So they upset, and now they want to join into something else and start teaching themselves that this is something that can happen. I don't know what world they live in. I don't know where they're at. But guess what? That battle ain't mine. I'm not claiming it. I'm not touching it. But come to your minds.
That's a fact.
Come to your minds. And I'm going to send your raggedy ass to the kingdom. Okay? I got some designed right for you to go to the kingdom.
Come sing the ass to the kingdom.
And get all the little babies you want, the women that get their menstrual, and just have all the fun. I just think people like that should have their stuff chopped.
I agree.
Okay? They should not be allowed because they're dangerous. They're like a murderer. See, because
that's going to affect it. That's going to affect the person.
Yeah. Listen, for a kid, for a woman, if she's raped, you just robbed her of some things. You killed something off up in her already. And people have to understand what murderers are. Who are murderers? Who are real thieves? It's more than thieves just stealing money or clothes or jewelry or all these things. There's a lot of people that are thieves. When you're stealing people's joy, you're a thief. You're a murderer. You have to understand the assassination of the things that you do to people. That assassination comes with something else. That is a murderer. So let's be clear about some of those things. But one thing I will tell you, that battle ain't mine. And if he chose to make it mine, that's what. It would be my pleasure to send you to your kingdom.
You know, the wildest part about that.
On earth as it is in heaven. Let's start going through some of that stuff there. That one there, I wasn't ready for that one. You just caught me.
Yo.
Over say, come over here, jump in the seat real fast. See, that's my other person. I got a problem saying I'm bipolar because there's a couple of men. There's a couple of men. Some of them you just want them to stay resting. Did you hear what I said? My mind.
Them some nuts. Yeah, so you know, like I said, illness goes deeper than a lot of people believe. And so what I do a lot of times, I'll study people, I'll go in the streets and I'll really dig into them conversation-wise so people can realize what's going on, because you got young, unsuspecting brothers now who may be upset with their girlfriend or insecure for whatever reason. And they come to these brothers here. And even though I believe you should still have enough sense, no matter how much insecurity you are filled with, no matter how much depression or anxiety you feel with, nonetheless, these brothers are out here on the streets, grabbing up some young brothers, teaching them this information.
Some people can't help it. Some people cannot help it.
I just feel like, you know, we got to get back into the state of mind as a community. You know, we'll kill each other for some damn shoes or a jacket. We'll beat each other up in the name of wearing different colors. These are the people that's a threat to the Black community, that's in our community. They are a huge threat because once you take away someone's innocence, you're dealing with a dysfunctional adult in some capacity. And that doesn't mean they can't be functional in society, but you can't take away that scar. That's a scar. That's a scar on the mind for the rest of this lifetime. And no one can revoke that scar. No one can give you laser surgery on your mind after you've had your innocence taken away from you. So that's why this is so very important. You feel me? And so I'm gonna bring some of the other guests on, and then if you don't mind, if I could bring some of the people that's in the community in the chat room, yeah, I'll bring them in and let's see what they got to say. Let's see what they got to say. I'm actually talking to Tommy Sotomayor. He said he would like to get in here.
Come in, Tommy.
He texted me. He said, "Yo, I'm ready to come through." So I told him I send him the links along. But I love your message. I love your message that you gave him. So we'll have him in here. I'm just texting him right now to let him know I sent. Yep. So I just told him to send him the link. But let's get our guests here. Inky, Oprah, tell me what you're feeling. I don't know if Dennis is still there, but you gave us. Now I'm familiar with you, sister. I'm always keeping up. I'm with the shits. But damn, you put it down today. I didn't know you go in that deep I've been knew you was there, but I ain't know you going that deep. So I think this conversation is great for people who thought they understood you. Because, you know, there's a misconception what the media does. People think they really know you, and they don't really know you until they really get
You wanna know something? That's the most funniest thing of it all, is that when you think you know me better than I know myself, I don't even understand how you think you know me, because guess what?
That's right.
Really, I don't know me at times. I cannot tell you what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I can tell you what I'm planning to do, but I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Sometimes we don't always know how we're gonna handle things. But I just don't like, that's a pet peeve of mine, and that's something that, I mean, it boils my blood when you think you know me better than me, and especially by the penmanship that someone else do, that never met me, don't know me, know nothing about me. Like, how do you go there? Did you ever try to find out if anything? You know, my thing is for me, my thing for me is that I didn't never feel like I owed people an explanation. But here it is. It's a gift and a curse with that. Because now you can run wild and believe everything you heard because I'm never going to say anything. It's like, you got to understand where I come from, and you got to understand my upbringing. Sometimes you just got to leave well enough alone. You just can't get into everything. And I'm just not going to sit there and go to the world, keep trying to convince or complaining. Like, who are you for me to do that? What are you doing for me? What are you doing for me to have to keep explaining to you who and what I am? I'm not doing that. I'm not.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now, I know that you come from a street background. You know my Aunt Nadine. She has a street background. So, you know, my family has a street background. I came from that type of lifestyle into consciousness to improve my life and kind of move away from that and position my children so that they wouldn't be in that type of atmosphere. What do you think about people using consciousness as a form of escapism to avoid reality, and the impact it's having on people self-medicating, meaning the rise in so much party drugs and pill popping, et cetera, et cetera? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off by throwing my Aunt Nadine in there.
I don't know who Nadine is. Who's Nadine?
Virginia.
From Virginia?
Yeah.
It's okay, but where do I know Nadine from? From Virginia?
Well,
I've never lived in Virginia.
Out VA.
Huh?
She's from Harlem, but she out VA. I think she said y'all used to go to the hair salon and rock out together, something like that. But my point is more so the people transitioning from the street to a better lifestyle, using consciousness for escapism and all of the party pills and drugs.
I think the consciousness and the party pills and drugs is like, aren't those two different things? Or is that something together? Because I'm not into that, but is that something together?
Well, like for instance, I know that people use drugs as a form to escape reality. They don't want to deal with what's going on in their life. So a lot of times I find people coming into consciousness and they're doing the same thing with consciousness instead of using consciousness as a way to improve their diet, improve the way they make money, improve the way they treat their brother, their sister, their mother, their cousin, their brother, their best friend, their neighbor. They're using it as a new way to dodge socializing, to dodge, you know, they're looking for a way out of their issues that they're dealing with currently. And I just don't think that there's any success, like there's no modicum of moving forward with dodging reality.
But you know what? Whose reality? That's the question. Okay, one is I want to tell you to forgive me because I'm not aware of what you're speaking about right now. Okay, but I know that we all have vices and we all have escape mechanisms. There's things that we all use to escape, whatever it may be. Whether this person drinks, that person smokes, this one use drugs, this one parties, this one have sex, this one shops. Like we all have vices. But when you say reality, whose reality is what you have to say? Because my reality is not your reality and your reality is not mine. That's the first thing. We have to learn to respect each and every individual as individuals and not classify everyone as a whole. So I can't tell you you're doing something wrong because I'm not into that and that's not what I want to do. It's not right for me to do that. It's your right. It is what you can do in order for you to maintain who you are and what you are. Like, you have to do what you have to do. And here's the first thing, sweetheart. We all have to learn to respect each other. That's the first thing. I can't help you come out of something if I'm going to downplay you on what you're doing. And here's another thing. I just said this in myself because everything I do, I use myself as an example. You understand what I'm saying? You can't hold me responsible for something I have no knowledge of. So if you're not taught these things, then you don't know these things. Don't assume because a person is an adult or they're grown and all these things that they know are way out. They don't know. So if they self-medicate or if they run to something else, then they have to do what they have to do for them in order for them to survive. Who am I to tell you that you're wrong? But if I know that this is something that's not right, then maybe I can lend my hand out a little bit to try to show you some other things without knocking you over, like without tipping that boat, basically. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, ma'am. A lot of.
Okay, so I think that that's the first thing. And let's go back in the urban community that we're so quick to do this. We point. We're so quick to do that. Like, that's a quick thing. We can't assume that we know these things. There's a lot of things. I got grown friends and stuff that they never even experienced. They don't even know nothing about it. And I can look at them like, are you serious? But that ain't fair for me to go there because I live this way and you're that way. It's not fair. That's where the word individual. We are our own individuals. We're not classified as a whole. That's what makes things so beautiful. Because we have choices. We have so many choices, good, bad, or indifferent. But we have choices.
That's
it's just as simple as that. I hope I answered it like.
No, absolutely. Because I was just trying to bridge the gap between that and mental illness. I find that a lot of people are trying to self-medicate and cover up so many of these scars.
They still, listen to me, you can't become analytical on a person. When you start doing that, you got to pay a visit to the man in the mirror. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
I just told you. All of us have mental illness somewhere along the line.
That's right.
We all have insecurities. We all go through our own little things. We all go through whatever it is we go through, whether you admit to going through it or not. We all go through some stuff. You understand what I'm saying? You went through something before you got to the point of where you at that you want to change your life. But how did you get there? Because of the things that you experienced, the things that you learned, the way you was taught. You know this ain't right. Like me, I watched my mama get black eyes left and right. I watched my mama get her ass whipped. Well, I couldn't wait till I got my first black eye. But when it happened, holy shit, this ain't cool. So when I got home and told my cousins, oh, he loved me, look. I said, damn, that hurt. Will he ever do that again? My mother couldn't even look at me. So with me asking her, what is wrong with you? Why did you allow these things? I wish a man would put his hands on me. That wasn't cool. So now I was taught, but I was taught from experience. I experienced that and it didn't feel good. So I couldn't understand how a woman want to sit there and get beat and she think that's okay. I knew I couldn't classify those things together no more. That's just for me. So whatever I speak on is always from experience. It's my experience, not yours. It's what I went through. It's how I see things. not the way you did. But you can show me another way. You can help me with another way. That's.
I have a question.
Hello, sister. How are you?
Hi, pleasure to meet you. Okay, so my question is, okay, because you are in the music industry, so you're around that. In regards to mental illness, is there some type of mental illness going on with, okay, for one, the lyrical content of which women are being called bitches. No one sings or raps about Black love anymore, and we accept this. Is this because of some type of mental illness in the Black community that we accept the lyrical content that disrespects us, exploits us?
No, it has a lot to do with the self-esteem of women. Okay?
Yeah.
It has a lot to do. Listen, don't kill the messenger if you accepted this, if you're supporting this. If these are things that you're supporting, why complain about it? Until women take a stand and stop thinking that that's okay, then it's going to continue to go that way. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing I tell my son. Every time I tell him, whatever you do to that woman is what you did to me. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's my representation. But I know I'm not a bitch. I know I'm not a hoe. I'm not accepting that. But what about when we call ourselves bitches and hoes?
That's true.
What about that? When we call ourselves, bitch, you crazy, in a conversation. No, bitch, you crazy if you call me a bitch again. I don't even do that in play shit. You're not calling me out of my name in play. Ho, what's wrong with you? Who you think you call me? So you have to understand that when you accept these things, then this is what's going to happen. Because you accepting somebody saying this to you. You accept it when you sit there with your own friends. Okay? I'm on reality TV, but am I for all of that BS? No, it's something that put our Black men down so hard. But guess what? We're in a world where people need money and they need to get money, so they accept. You understand what I'm saying? You have to understand how the woman sits there and feels that, oh, we can do each other and make each other good, and then you dismiss the man. So there's a lot of roles that we have to place ourselves back in that equation, that we play roles until we come with acceptance to ourselves and we accept who we are, then that stuff's going to continue to go on. As long as you're supporting these people, as long as you go to their concerts, trying to get there to sleep with them, to be with them, to do all this stuff, and think that you validate everything it is that they do, that ain't mental health. That's pure sickness. If you think it's okay for them to sit here and say what they want to say to you and do what they want to do, and you accept it and think it's good. And I know they say for pure entertainment purposes only, but when is enough enough?
Facts.
Okay, when is enough enough? Now some of them too old to be on the damn platform anyway, because now what you teaching your kids?
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Is there anyone in the behind the scenes though? Is there anyone behind the scenes talking to these artists and saying, hey, you know what, we do need to change our lyrics. We do, because women, I stopped accepting it, and I also tell Black women, it's one thing to say, oh, I'm God, treat me as such, but then you turn around and call another Black woman a bitch, like you stated, or a hoe whenever we get mad at them, or you know what I'm saying?
One step further, sweetheart. Let's not say that I called you a bitch. Let's say I called myself a bitch. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm a bitch that ain't gonna take that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a hoe, ain't going for this kind of stuff. When you label yourself as this, and it's okay. See, here's the thing. You now don't accept it like you said. But what about that time that you did accept it? So allow other people to get to where you at. And sometimes you got to help them get there. So who's behind the scenes? You're behind the scenes. And it starts right there. You feel what I'm saying? It starts right there with you. Because that's what you are. That's the behind the scenes person. And that's what you have to do. You have to now start spilling this stuff over to people. And you have to talk about that. And then somebody else will talk about it. Somebody else will go through it. And that's just how it goes. Am I making sense?
Well, yeah, and the reason I bring up music is because it is a sound vibration, and we are, energy. We are controlled by our vibrations, and so this is why such frequencies it does intersect our mental state because it is a vibration. It is a frequency. So that's why I do bring up the music, and most of the time I listen to mantras with no words, just nothing but sound vibrations totally. So that's why I bring that up for mental health reasons because of the interception that is causing our Black community. But that's my question. I'm done.
But you're not done because you have a job to do. Because now you changed over, okay, and you went to another side, and now you have clarity and understanding. It is now your job to try to pull somebody else in and to teach somebody else, and mainly the younger ones, okay? Mainly them.
Yeah.
That you teach them how to respect themselves and who they are. Okay? That's your job now.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll go on mute.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you this. Tommy is about to enter the room.
That's cool.
And I think this is going to be very healthy for the community. One thing people realize amongst Tommy and I, because we're so diametrically opposed, because I'm known for revering the Black woman, and he's categorized as doing the complete opposite,
But
whether that's his perspective or not.
Listen, you have to still find out why is that man like that. Even though everybody else don't understand it, but he's no different from everybody else that's out there. He's just honest with his shit.
Yeah, yeah. And so a lot of people often try to figure out.
She just spoke on music and calling bitches and calling this. What is the difference? They doing the same thing, really. But the only thing with him is justifiable because there's an issue there that man went through. And I think that if people allow him to speak, right, then maybe the understanding might be understood, and then maybe people might feel a different way for him.
And that's where I was going.
He's feeling damaged, but whatever happened, he's damaged by it. So we as women have an obligation in a way to figure out, I'm not going to beat that man down. I'm not going to, you so disrespectful. You so, no, I already know something is wrong. It ain't got nothing to do with my training. I know something is wrong.
Hey, Deb, I normally tell people, if you found out someone had diabetes, would you punch them in their face? Or if you found out someone had cancer, would you smack the hell out of them? We see some kind of cure when we find out someone is sick, or we decide if it's too contagious for us to get too close to them. So I deal exactly. I deal with it the same way.
People are validating him somewhere along the line because they just as sick. If they want to keep coming to him to shoot the messenger, what you doing that for? Because now you got a problem because you keep joining them in this. So something is wrong. Do anybody ever stop to try to talk to them? Stop to try to see what's going on? You gotta figure those things out. And for me, I accept that. You understand? As a woman, then let me take that and let's see how we can change your mind about some things.
That's right.
That's all women are not alike.
That's the alchemy.
It's nothing more than me loving to be a mother. I love being a mother. I've got issues because my kids are grown. And Waka just said that. He said, Mom, why don't you let us go? And I'm like, never. You're always going to be my babies. Always. I went through a lot, and I go through a lot still to this day. I don't never want to stop being a mother. I love being a mother. I love being pregnant. I loved it. Like, some women ain't that material. That's not who they are. That's not what they are. Some women have babies for the wrong reason. There are wrong reasons why some women have babies. Some women ain't that material. That's not who they are. That's not who they are. You'll be on the relay. You know. So I don't know what to say.
Do you think the rise in mental illness in the community has a great deal to do with the breakdown in the Black family?
sweetheart, the mental illness been there the whole while. If you heard us say in the beginning, as children, we build walls. We build walls as children. But don't you find it weird as adults? You find all these adults sick? You got to understand, where did that come? That didn't just come in overnight. It didn't come in overnight. That's a buildup. That's a buildup waiting to explode. That's what that is. It just didn't start. There are things that happen, especially, you know, being a case manager, I learned a lot of things, okay? Another thing that I learned, that in there were more males that was raped than females. A man just don't talk about it. There's a lot of things in a male child that will never ever be told because he's a man and he doesn't want to be prejudged. He doesn't want to go through any of these things. So could you imagine harboring all these different things inside of you that's damn going on and you are incapable of expressing it? And then on top of that, now all these other little dysfunctional things come, and now you're thrown in a cage like an animal. And that's enough to drive you crazy.
Wow. You speak more about the men, finding more cases where men are being molested or raped.
A lot. A lot.
Do you think that has something to do with the violence that we see the men perpetrate against each other in the community?
No, what I think is, what I think that it comes from, right? Welcome in, Tommy. I see you came in. But what I see that coming from is because of how men create for themselves. Okay? And so I find it to be very sexy if a man cries.
Uh-oh, you're about to make us all cry now, Dad. You better cut it out.
I don't think, because you know what? It lets me know that you're not inhuman and that you feel. But for a male child to do something like that, hey, Tommy, how are you, honey?
Hey, dear, how you doing?
I'm good, sweetie. Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
For a male child to go through that, and if he cries, then that becomes a sign of weakness to that male child. Now people want to degrade him and knock him down. So you have to look at, these are the things that happen, and why men go through those things that they go through. You understand what I'm saying? They can't talk about it because now you want to slaughter them. So, Tommy, I'm sorry. I know this is your floor, but I really want to speak to Tommy.
Oh no, that's what I got him on here for. We're gonna set that up. So let me get that part of the show going.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm really truly happy that he's on. You know, so he's a person that very much been in my thoughts. Like, we talk about him all the time, and I'm not talking about a slaughter, talking about him.
That's right.
That's a man that, honestly, I don't know that man from Adam. I know lots of people. I never even knew who he was until that day. But I know that he's somebody that people try to slaughter, but what you don't see is something that I see, and it's something that I feel. I feel that man's pain. That man is going through something. And it's the same way when people scream out for help, you misdiagnose everything. Okay? And you want to slaughter and bring people down. Well, guess what? I find that every person that follow him to say negative things to him is sick. That's me. Because if he's so sick, what the hell are you doing there? Why are you on his page? Why are you following him? Why are you commenting on him?
Deb?
And that's what I'm telling you when you talk about Black Lives Matter and within the community. And that's why I said to y'all, I said to him, the first time I said to him, that the first thing I need to say to him, that I apologize to him as a woman. And that's just real. But anything that a woman has ever done to him. And women can do things, and you have to understand those things.
Well, Deb, I want you to do me a favor and understand that the last time I was on this platform, I was telling the audience that exact thing you just said. I said, how can you guys hate me so much, but keep finding where I am? Like, if my name's in the title of something, and my analogy was this, you know why I've never seen gay porn? Because anytime I would never watch it, and anytime I seen something that looked like gay porn, I'm not going to click on it. So if people hate me that much, why would you invite me into your life? Why would you invite that kind of anger Some woman before I even got here wrote on your wrote in the chat room, said that she's gonna make sure she put a root on me. They've been calling me crispy all the time through the chat room because of my dark skin color. You have these people who've done these. I don't know if you saw the Ebony article, which they were cheering because they believed that they had taken $30,000 a month out of how much money I make. This is a black newspaper that was cheering that they believe they cost me $30,000 a month because they've been flagging down my stuff. I was doing a show before I came live on this show. They flagged it down in the middle of the show for cyberbullying and harassment. And all I was doing was talking about this person who had beaten their dog live on YouTube. This is the second live video they've been able to flag down of mine while I was live streaming. Black people doing this.
And you want to know something, Tommy? That's why I just said earlier when we was on talking, and I talked about black on black crimes. Like, if nothing seems to amaze me when people start talking about Black Lives Matter. How do you say Black Lives Matter when you are stabbing people, you are hurting your own kind, you are hurting your people? Like, how could you not? Like, I should walk around not liking black people and saying a whole lot of things. I could say things that people did to me, men and women. But where's that gonna get me? I just think that people need to have some type of respect, period, and allow this man to vent. And if you don't have nothing good to say, if it's something you can't deal with, let it go. Let it go. You ain't never got to come back on his page. You ain't never got to go nowhere where he's at. But you sick for even coming here to slaughter him and to say whatever it is that you want to say. That's crazy.
Oh, Deb, you hadn't seen all of it. They had gotten to the point where they were putting my head on a porn person's body, and then my at the time she was 7-year-old daughter's head on the porn body, and making it look like I'm having sex with my daughter. They called CPS on me and said that I was raping my daughter. They showed up at my house. A young woman yesterday on my Instagram was posting pictures of my daughter saying she looked like a monkey. A woman called my show the other day and said that the reason the bridge fell in Atlanta is because I had went back to Atlanta to my grandmother's funeral. A black woman called my show and said the reason that bridge fell was because that was the devil opening up the gates of hell to welcome my grandmother. These are all black women who claim they're trying to protect black people, but they go after black women in my life. One woman called my mother's church. My mother is a pastor. Called my mother's church and her job, trying to get her fired because of, she just happened to be my mom.
What we actually was going through in the beginning stages of this show was about cyberbullying and mental health, because I believe we all can admit that we have our share of people we don't know who have made it their personal duty to attempt to destroy our lives. And that gave us tremendous advice on how to deal with it. Not to say you don't know how to deal with it, but simply to say that she expounded on some really good options and venues that we have to get through the day and even embracing it for what it is.
Because Deb, I want you to do me a favor before you even respond. Just look at how the people are responding to me. I'm telling, they've all seen it. Look at what the commenters in you guys' comment are saying. Poor Tommy, small face. This other one says, please do your research on him, as if because my videos are offensive to someone that my family deserves to be attacked. Think about that. That makes.
But why? Here we go.
You got that nigga deserve it.
But why attack a child? Listen to me, Tommy. Ignore that. Ignore it. Okay. Here's my problem. Somebody can say whatever it is that they want to say about you, but when it comes to them babies, it becomes something different. And that's a violation. Where I come from, I can do whatever I want to do to you, but when it comes to them children, it becomes something different.
That's right.
And Tommy, here goes for me. Okay, I wish you was here in Atlanta. I really wish that you could walk through this thing and really get all of this stuff out of you, because I know deep down inside, you're not a wicked individual. You just was dealt some wicked ass hands. Okay? And that's just like anybody else that go through stuff and start feeling bitter and going through the rest of the bullshit. Like, we all go through that shit. We all go through it. But nobody knows this man's story. You don't know his story. You don't even know if this is the melted pot for him to come in and dump and go through all of this stuff. You don't know that. You don't know. Look at the brother said earlier about the escape mechanisms, the conscious and the drugs and all this. But maybe this is his thing, but he's not on drugs and he's not doing these things. But I got to come do this. Somebody got to do something. So guess what? We always can't please everybody in who we are and what we do. And here I go again, people. We in goddamn America. You got a choice of where you go. You can bypass that shit. You ain't never got to come see him. You ain't never got to figure out what the hell is going on with him. You ain't never got to go through none of that. But it's your choice. Because if he's sick, you're sicker. That's how I would look at it. So to call him sick, that means somebody's sicker.
Now, Dan, what we need to do is also address the elephant in the room, because the people are in the uproar.
I see.
The whole energy shifted. I ain't gonna lie. The brother didn't come.
I'm reading.
He didn't say nothing volatile yet, if he would. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say nothing offensive. And I don't disagree with nothing.
I told you when I spoke to him, yes, he wasn't that person to me, like how it was. But he also has the right to feel how he feels.
This is true.
He has the right to do that. Okay? Look, I didn't tell him he's wrong. I don't know his situation. I don't know his story. I don't know what happened. I don't know him as a little boy. I didn't happen to have the privilege of being there in his childhood to know what the hell was going on. I don't know that. But I will tell you this much. My childhood wasn't that damn great. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, join the club.
Okay? No. Mine wasn't great. So if everybody else want to make pretend that they lived such a glorious life, then that's just on them. But I will tell you, mine wasn't that great.
Well, like I said, I want to address the elephant in the room, because we all come from horrid backgrounds. My father left me at age 8. My mother, I only knew her for 7 days. She died the week I met her when I turned 17. I grew up with a disdain for women at a certain point in my life, not trusting them until my wife restored my faith in women. And it's unfair that one person should have to do that or could do it, but nonetheless, that was my strife.
But that's also a blessing, sweetheart. It's a blessing to know that you're with somebody and they receive you like that. As a woman, it feels good to know that your man trusts you that much. You feel what I'm saying? So now it's Tommy's turn. You understand?
That's right.
You could have been Tommy had you not met your wife. And then let's keep it 100. It could have been the people. See, let me explain something to you. I don't give a shit, really. Like my opinion is mine, like their opinion is theirs, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the way that they feel. It's okay. I'm gonna respect the way you feel and what you say, but before it's all over, the understanding will be understood. And I respect you, you respect me, and we'll be on equal grounds. You understand? So we can agree to disagree to agree.
That's right. And now, Tommy.
That's okay. We can do that.
This is what I gotta, let's get Tommy involved. So the consensus in the chat room, brother Tommy, is this, and I want you to respond to it. Because now I can't ignore the damn chat room. I normally tell Tommy, ignore the chat room. I normally say, ignore that damn chat room, don't pay it no mind, rebuilding. But now it got my attention because there's an overwhelming consensus. Tommy, you are playing victim. You in your words, in your views, in your opinions, has impacted these people in ways where they don't want to hear you talking about you being abused. Now, I know when we play the blame game, we don't never really know where it begins. We don't know if Tommy started or if they started. But one thing's for sure, the consensus is, Tommy, you are the one raising hell. How dare you come on this platform and play victim? What do you say to that, Brother Tom?
But I'm not. You remember what I said in the other one? Look, I'm not playing a victim. I turn everything that they give me and I turn it into a check. I said that last time, did I not? So they can do whatever they want to do. If they would like to, all I do is use it to prove a point. The point is, look at the type of stuff, just like right now. I took your chat room, put it underneath, and put mine on top. Just so when people see the replay, they can see how your people are talking versus how mine are. How these people who support. Now, here's the thing, and this is what it sounds like Deb was saying, and it's what I've been saying. If you hate me that much, why can't you keep your argument against me? Again, the woman who came onto my Instagram came on hating me and what I said. She called me a faggot. I called her a bitch. She said your daughter and your mama a bitch. Now, I want you to think about it. This grown individual said something to me. I said something back to her because that's the argument, right? Like imagine me and you, Brother Polite, if we got into a fist fight, you punched me in the face and I went over and punched your daughter in the face. Would that make any sense?
No. It just depends how ratchet the two people are. Because in a ratchet state of mind, any damn thing goes. But in my sane state of mind,
right. But what I'm saying is, if I punched you though, think about this. Excuse me, I punched your kid, but I was running around claiming I'm trying to stick up for children. See, all these black folks claim that they're so pro-black. Now, these same black people will get mad if somebody white flags down a pro-black channel that's calling white people cave people, devils, that black people are better than them. See, we want to still be able to say that on white people's platform and not be flagged down and not have white people come and try to shut us down and ruin our lives. As a matter of fact, if any of these so-called pro-blacks who was talking about how great black people are and black people need to build their own communities and put money in their own stuff, as any of these white people came and shut their stuff down, oh, it'd be hell amongst black people. They'd say it's freedom of speech. They'd say their children should not be attacked. They'd say their jobs should not be attacked. It didn't matter that they were hurting white people's feelings. Somebody tell me if I told a lie at any point in time right now. So Negroes want the ability to go out and mess with and talk about everybody else. But they don't want you to do it to them. They want to think it's okay that Negroes try to destroy another Negro's platform that Negro built himself. You may not like me, but I built it myself. You know, like how David Duke built his. Now, let me ask you something. Do you see any of these rabid Negroes going and trying to tear down David Duke stuff like they're trying to tear down mine? Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why they ain't messing with none of them white people. They ain't messing with none of them white people's kids because they know they would go to jail. They ain't trying to mess up the white people's moms and dads and their jobs because they'd go to jail. But I built my own platform. Do you know Deb Antney? Right now, I can't get on YouTube. I'm not YouTube, but I can't get on what is it called? GoFundMe or Patreon because they flagged those accounts to now people can't even donate to me through them because they said I give hate speech against a protected class, black women. So black folks have went out of their way to try and make sure I don't make any money.
Okay, I think that I'm just gonna play devil's advocate for a second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it's cool. Like you can talk about what happens with you and who done something to you, but I think it becomes offensive if you look at every woman like they're a bitch, like every woman is a whore, like every woman done something to you. But that
would be my opinion though. Think about it. You remember what you just said. It's just like those people who think that every white person is the devil. They're black YouTubers doing this and they're not getting flagged down. All Tariq Nasheed does is talk about suspected white supremacists and ain't no white people over there tearing his shit down. Why?
I don't think that this is a black and white issue. I think it's an issue of respect. It's an issue of respect for the black woman because we're already beat down from so many other ways. So and especially for me, I'm always preaching to women about us standing by our man. But I don't want to stand by my man if I'm a bunch of whores and bitches also. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, as a woman, I apologize to you for what any woman has ever done to you. But moving forward, I don't feel that I'm deserved to be called a bitch or a whore because I'm not respecting you. I'm trying to understand you.
But I didn't call you. But think about it. Have I called you?
No, you haven't. You've never. That's what I said. You've never been disrespectful to me. But you have to understand also that these women are angry, and you don't even understand that. You could have been somebody that they look up to. You could be somebody that they want to hear something from. Yeah, that could be shocking to you. But you don't understand where your strength might come from that woman. Okay?
But here's the thing, though, and I'm not trying to be funny. If you just compared audiences right now, there are way more black women listening to me right now than listening on my end when they had no warning that I was even coming on live. I just clicked live. There are more black women over there than over here.
You know, Tommy, I've been taking the time out because I know you do this every time we do a stream. And I just screenshot a bunch of guys' names because you say this every time we do this. And I also screenshot a bunch of people in your chat room constantly disrespecting my children and my wives.
Over there?
I also screenshot it. I just screenshot it. So what I want to say is this, and I don't want to feed, you feel me? But I'm going to show you some of these screenshots because this happens every time we do a live stream. You say the people that's following him, and first of all, I don't know who exactly is in the chat room. It doesn't speak to everyone. We have hundreds to 1,000 of viewers watching live between here and Facebook, but only a few of them in percentage wind up joining in on talking.
Right.
So we'll go here, and it says, "Sucks polite, married a whore." This is from.
What is that?
Hold on. This is from.
He said this is from my chat.
This is from your channel. I typed in your name, Tommy Sotomayor, and it says, "Sucks polite, married a whore." So I take the time out because you say this all the time, and I'm like, there's people always saying negative stuff on your channel about me, but it's okay because I understand they follow you, and my views appear to be diametrically opposed to yours. I'm gonna pull another one because I
hold on. I want to stop you right now. You have people who have been literally, when you say it, they've been blocking those people, and you have people saying, "Dude, we've been blocking them." I'm not telling you the people are saying something.
It's not a matter. Hold on. It's not a matter if you've been blocking them. It's this perception that look, leaves Polite's wife alone. There you go. I screenshot somebody in your room saying that. I've been on top of it. What I'm saying is this. It's not a matter of if someone's being blocked. It's this perception that it's only chat room and whoever's writing it is somehow associated with
No. What I was saying was I was addressing what she spoke on, which was I could talk a lot to black women and have them respect me if I didn't speak a certain way. I said, if you compare the two chat rooms.
I apologize. There's two different conversations.
Yeah, I was saying I have a shit ton of black women who support me. I have a shit ton of them there.
Yes. I understand that. What I'm saying is this is in response to a comment you made earlier, but I had to allow you guys to chime in and get your conversation off. So I'm going back to that you said earlier, because you do this every time we get on the show. You say, look at Polite's chat room. And if you go to my chat room, you'll notice it almost sounds like no one in your chat room is going off the hook.
Well, I never say that because I even agreed to you when you said in our last show, you remember what I said?
I know you never said it.
People will go back and forth trying to get their shit out. I said the difference is they know, and you will hear your people complaining that when they come over to mine and they say dumb shit, they get kicked out.
No problem. What I'm saying is the intimation, based on what you said, is intimated going on here that's not going on over there.
Yes.
And the reality is you have negative people wherever we go. If Dev set up a live stream right now, she gonna have some people trolling her ass, asking about Gucci Mane and everybody. This is what's gonna happen. Oh, these people.
I just see somebody on there saying, okay, Waka put bitches and hoes in his music. He damn sure do, but you should have been on here earlier to hear what I had to say.
You see, like people.
I'm not in agreement with it.
People are nuts.
Well, that's not a troll comment though. Like a person is asking a real question. It's just like when you ask me a real question about me saying bitches and hoes. That's not a troll comment.
Yeah, but I don't want us to defer our attention too much away from these trolls. I just wanted to make it clear, in general, that no matter who's doing the streaming, there are people who live to be parasites off of.
We talked about that earlier.
Dialogue.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yep. Like people love being on the internet talking crap. They love that. For me, I'm not giving it no energy. You can't get my energy from that. Crazy. At the end of the day, we got a problem here, people. That's what you better know. We got a mental health problem here. We got kids killing themselves right now.
Well, that's why I wanted to come on. Like when I heard the topic.
Go through Tommy calling people bitches, how this is, who need to be there.
That's right.
Come on. We don't need to go there. We got issues. So maybe some people need to get up off here, because maybe if you shout them out and let them know that you seeing them, they hating their shit. You go to their page, it's private.
Yep.
And they got 6,000 that they following, and ain't nobody following them.
They want to put out your personal life, but you don't know who they are. They want to talk about your past, but you don't know nothing about theirs.
At the end of the day, we got an issue. But this is what I'm telling you when you yell about Black Lives Matter. Even though all lives matter, we can't even come together to agree to disagree to agree to know that we got issues. Point blank, period. Something is going on right now. And this is like a call to action of what we need to be doing. But these niggas can't even sit there for 2 seconds and have a civilized conversation without sitting up here downplaying everybody.
Yep. Look at that. That's what I was trying to point out. Like, I wasn't trying to say what you were saying.
Like, everybody want to call people out and go through this stuff. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Polite, listen to me.
Yeah,
we
so,
can't
you know,
sit up here and talk about how, and if people can't come up to try to suggest some things of how we can all come together, then this here don't make sense. To go back and forth to tell somebody who's right and who's wrong and who's that. What's wrong is our babies are dying. This shit getting real. So I ain't got time for that. They don't do nothing for me to sit there and go through that. That's what upsets me, to know it. That's what I have to deal with. So when you're fighting this battle, you fight it alone. And right now I feel like it's lying on deaf ears. They're not hearing
That's
it.
right.
They're not hearing it. They only hear it.
As I always like to say,
that's when they hear it. They hear it when it comes to your door. Let me explain something to you. I heard suicide all the time, but I heard white people committing suicide all the time. Black people don't commit suicide. My son committed suicide, and his toxicology report was clean. And I've never known him to have a mental health problem. You understand what I'm saying? But at that time, something was going on, and it didn't just start from there. He's always said different things, just never paid him no mind. Just thinking it's just talk. And
Deb.
so that's why now that death falls on my doorstep all the time, it comes.
Well, listen, right now, the rate of suicide amongst Black men is up 200%. So this is something that we definitely have to discuss.
Hey, brother, but let me ask you something. Let me say something to you, brother. I talk about that all the time. See, Black men are overlooked. Like under Obama, nobody paid attention to Black men. The unemployment rate for Black men was ridiculous under him, but nobody said a word. Nobody want to talk about how the Black man is out here right now unemployed and can't find a damn job because nobody's hiring him. Nobody also wanted to talk about something as simple as this. Do you remember the story that happened last week about the couple who ended up committing suicide? The girl found out she was pregnant. She killed herself. They blamed it on the boy that she was dating, that the reason she killed herself was because of him. And they flooded his Facebook, Instagram and stuff. Do you know a week later he killed himself?
Yeah.
And nobody gives a shit. We think it's funny. We love to get up every day before we go to our job and go fuck with someone else, to go do something to them. And we as Black people claim we're supposed to be so great. And that's why I made a video a long time ago. I said, Black people aren't angry at white people. They're jealous of white people. Because every time we get an opportunity to do the so-called evil that the white man do, we do it very quickly. Whenever we get a chance to do evil to other Black folks, we do it without a second thought.
Well, let me say this, because I think it's bigger than the Black-white issue. I think what happens is this. When we allow ourselves to look at another person that comes from similar circumstances as we do, and they are able to achieve some level of success, if we attribute that to pure hard work and determination, then that means at the same moment we have to look at ourselves and say maybe we're not where we want to be because we're not working hard enough. So immediately you have people attribute other people's growth to Illuminati and all kinds of other weirdo shit instead of saying that man worked hard or that woman worked hard to get where they are. And so I think a lot of people want to say, okay, well, this guy must have had it easy. That woman must have had it easy, when the reality is there is no such thing as easy in order to be continuously successful at anything. So I think that we have to really look at that as an elephant in the room and say, there's something intrinsically going on where we are trying to escape reality, and pointing out somebody else's flaws is a small way that people do that.
Brother, how many times have you heard people say, I'm in the Illuminati? Corey Holcomb said he know a dude who in Atlanta, I left Atlanta to go to LA and suck this dude's dick and got fucked by him. That's how I got the money I got. This nigga actually went on TV, on his show, and said this. You got people who are saying that the Klan is backing me. There's no such thing as a black man that just made it himself. Somebody else had to do it.
I think that just shows a big part of what we have to deal with. But I think forums like this, especially with Deb blessing us with her time, her energy, and her wisdom, really allows us to open up the floor to the family at large. And a lot of people listening are going to be able to get some relief, especially when we deal with a lot of the addictive behaviors, because 90% of addiction is based on dopamine receptors and how we get dopamine to flow throughout the brain. And we see now people using social media. People are so addicted to social media, they're walking out in the street into ongoing cars, getting hit by cars because they're on Instagram, because a like, and it's been scientifically proven, a like, a view is now releasing dopamine in the brain in the same way that physical interaction would amongst people, and it's actually causing people to become more distant. So what we see with a lot of the internet bullying and a lot of the hate, I mean, it's no other way to call it but hate. I see Brother Polite, Brother Polite is black. His wife is blacker than he is. His daughter is somewhere in the mix of the two. They in a Rolls Royce. I'm looking in the chat room, and it's supposedly people that's pro-black, black conscious, etc., they find in some way to hate that picture. And we haven't seen that since the Cosbys. I mean, this is really mental illness, and social media is allowing people to hide behind computer screens and hate.
Yep. And the fact that you can screw up, other people's lives from behind the comfort of your computer. Yeah.
I want to address something that took place on the last show. Considering the fact that Deb has a profession and is skilled in also remedying some of the issues that take place in our households amongst men and women. Of course, the people had loved the conversation. They was very interested in it. Conversation where we discuss meet aggression, not with equal aggression, but even more aggression than that of the which was initiated. And in this particular case, and I want you to put it into context again for us so I don't misquote or misrepresent your views, but I want to hear her perspective on it. We spoke about, I gave you one in which I said, hey, if a woman were to smack you, because she all understand, we all agree on this platform, everyone should keep their hands to themselves. Let's just say that for the record, so there's no need for us to be redundant about how everyone should start off by not touching each other. Remember that sister reminded you, Tommy, that I'm the one that said it first. But so now, hands to themselves. That's important first. Now, we get older, we get upset, and someone lays hands on the other. We then spoke about the woman laying hands on the man. Use you hypothetically and said, if a woman were to smack you because she was angry with you, and you suggested to us that not only do you hit her back, but you go in harder, then the next and you can always reform it or whatever. The next scenario was if someone who follows what you teach about meeting that hit with even more aggression. It's like give her the business, or even the He-Man thing that you gave us. I said, what if someone's listening to you as you have daughters, and then your daughter smacks him, and we know she should have kept her hands to herself, but she still smacks this man. He listens to Tommy, and he goes, well, Tommy's daughter or not. Tommy said, I'm supposed to meet this force with even more force than was initiated by me. You said one of them listened to you and one of them didn't, and the person that listened to you obviously was the man. Hit your daughter, I use the term knocked her out. Can you speak to why you feel men should hit by a woman, not only hit her back, but hit her harder? That I would like to get Deb's opinion, perspective, occupationally, and just from as a woman's disposition. From a woman's disposition, I want to hear her response.
Well,
can you talk to us first?
Yes,
before Tommy, before you ask, because Polite asked the first part of my question. The second part I want to add is, do you feel because you have a very large platform, and you're speaking to your audience, do you feel a level of responsibility to kind of filter, and I'll be nice, filter how you put your information out there, because everyone's not at the level that you are, and their perception of the message that you are putting out there may be detrimental to more than that person who's receiving that message, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, it makes some sense. So let me answer. First off, I want to say, hopefully Brother Polite remembers that when we were talking about the woman spitting in his face, he said he would power up and turn into the Power Ranger on her. So
no, that was a joke. Cut it out.
Wow, come on now. That was the same damn joke I made, but let's go more. The same joke. The point is
using more power.
No, well, listen, what I'm saying though is I meant everything I said about the idea of if I tell my daughter, you don't hit someone, she doesn't get a pass for hitting someone. I'm sorry. No, now you don't have to raise your kid the way I'm raising mine. But if everybody raised their kids the way of keep your damn hands to yourself, because I'm not giving a woman a pass for being emotional and just slapping the shit out of someone, because we're asking a man not to be emotional when we're both creatures who have emotions. And if a woman cheat on a man and he walk in his house where he been paying rent and making sure she can sit at home, and he catch her with Mr. Long Slong just giving her the business, he still can't hit her. But a woman can look through your phone and see you texting another woman and can slap you, and we say, well, you shouldn't do anything back. So why are we asking that man to, even in the midst of having an emotional trauma, not act out physically and not hold women to the same thing until we learn to hold?
Brother Tommy, don't forget, when we spoke about the policeman, I said the main reason people believe police shouldn't use as much force against people, the main reason police shouldn't use that much force, most of us believe, is because they are armed more than the people they would use force against.
Nope.
So in this case, well, nope. that was my opinion.
But I'm telling you, most cops will tell you the people on the street have more firepower than them, and they're still expected to. And it's not because of their firepower. It's because of the role that they have. The role that they have is they are the ones who are supposed to be able to initiate contact with these people. You can't initiate contact with a cop, and they can pull you over. You can't pull a cop over. And they consider they can do a lot of things with you based upon the authority we give them. So that's why we expect them to have more.
You're speaking to my point. Basically, they have a lot more advantages than the civilians. We're not talking about statistics where some people are packing guns in a house that can pierce through vests that police wear. No, we're talking about those people when we get upset that we find out, hey, they're unarmed. Why did you use such brutal force against people that are unarmed? So what I'm saying is, because of the physical advantages of the police, we normally consider the fact that they should be more patient, or even when they do engage the civilian in question, they're asked to exercise extreme caution by holding them down, but not using such brute force, being that they're trained. And the civilian that they're operating against isn't trained in the capacity that they're trained, and they're more armed. So if we give that leverage to police, why can't we not give that same leverage to a woman that hits a man with the understanding that in most instances, this man, in most instances, this man is physically at an advantage, in which case he would definitely devastate a woman that he hits. Why should he have to use more force than a woman that afflicted him if he's a man?
Because he is, by definition.
Why can't he talk to her and say, yo, hold on, stop? Why he has to punch her out? Why he got to make sure he
don't have to do it. Look, brother, look, you remember how you say, well, you'd like to have more than one wife. Not every man has to do this. Why would you take blame for a man who couldn't afford to take care of 4 women, but he tried to do it anyway? Why the fuck is that your fault?
I'm not talking to every man. I'm talking to you.
I'm talking to you saying the same thing. What I feel is right for me, you don't have to do it. I take Nexium. Wait. I take Nexium. Don't tell me that because I said I take Nexium, you took it and you didn't have the same symptoms. Don't tell me that. I said what I teach my daughter is keep your damn hands to yourself. Just like my grandmother taught me. My grandmother taught me and her daughters. Put your hands on a man. You fight like a man. You get treated like a man. I believe it, but not everybody has to believe it. But also, not every woman believes what my grandmother said. Don't hit a man. So
after you say all of that, I just want to know what's your perspective. I'm just asking for your insight. I'm not trying to judge you.
No, I explained it. I said I have not backed down from my stance. Keep your hands to your damn self. If you hit my daughter because my daughter hit you, I'm going to sit there and the fact that you would even use my daughter, which is 2 different things. I kept trying to give you examples of, yeah, I will do shit to other people's daughter. I don't want nobody doing it to mine. I just beat somebody's daughter back out. I don't want nobody doing that to mine. That's a bad analogy to even ask, how would you feel if your daughter did it? I don't want my daughter doing that. There's other chicks who don't go to college. I don't want my daughter being a failure like that chick. We know there's a difference. But if my daughter hits a man and that man hits her back, my first response to my daughter is, why'd you hit him?
Tommy, don't miss the point. The point is not just even hit her back, but make sure you hit her harder.
No, he's stronger. If I hit Shaq, hold on. If I hit Shaq right now in the stomach, if he hits me back in the stomach, he's going to hit me harder than I hit him. And I should have known that because he was stronger. Shaq's supposed to hold back. What you're asking a person is a person to be assaulted, but to hold back. You shot at me with a 9mm. I shouldn't have shot you back with my 50 caliber because it's bigger than your 9.
Okay, Tommy, let me go to Deb and let me ask Deb, does she believe that if a man was smacked by his woman, his wife, do you believe that that man should not only hit her back, but hit her harder than he was hit, to use extra force? Do you believe that that's how we should remedy the problem?
I was kind of took the same way. If you step up to somebody's face, it's like an even platform.
Thank you.
Somebody's face. But I really want to plead the fifth on this because I know y'all ain't gonna like what I'm saying either.
Thank you, babe.
So it's just
asking people to stop hitting other people. Keep your hands in yourself.
Look, you can't say that women have the right to just go around beating on men and they should just get away with it. I'm not trying to be funny, but no, that should not happen. You saying that that's okay if somebody slapped the shit out of you, then you don't get to do nothing back to them? If she get up in his face, then he can handle whatever's coming our way.
Yep.
And so the question is, do you believe that that man should use intentionally?
Listen, it's not about what I believe.
Thank you, Deb. He keeps doing that. I'm like, why does he keep doing that?
Because that's not everyone's opinion. So I have to speak to your opinion because I'm asking you. I'm interviewing you.
Listen. I think that we really should stay on top of this mental health shit.
Yeah.
You understand? At the end of the day, it's like At the end of the day, you can't go up in no man's face thinking you a man unless you can handle it. Unless you can handle it. So I'm just gonna walk up to a man and knock the shit out of him because I'm a woman, he can't touch me. But I just like he might have could have really felt that hit.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Is domestic violence a mental illness? And do we solve domestic violence with extra violence on top of the violence initiated?
Well, I love you, but I don't want to get in this tricky shit. Because that ain't no valuable. I know how to stay in my.
Why am I blocked everywhere, brother Polite? That's what I want.
I know. Sorry, because you got a filthy ass mouth.
No, I'm saying I'm blocked. All these people can comment in his chat room. I can't comment in his chat room. Sotomayor TV 2 is blocked now. One-on-one every time, and they know it's me. They know it's me now. They're blocking every time I say something from every one of my channels.
Tommy,
hey, brother, we'll discuss that very soon.
Yeah,
we'll discuss
Tommy,
that soon, brother.
You have to accept who you are, and you have to accept what you bring to the table. Like, you gotta understand how you poison the air when you come to the table. You gotta accept this. You can't be mad at people because they blocking your ass because they know what you're about to say to them.
No. I ain't saying nothing out of line. Look, Deb, so what you're advocating for is that they can write whatever they want to.
No, that's not what I said.
That is. Because they're not blocking the people talking about me. So the people who talk about me aren't getting blocked. But I try to talk back to them and I'm blocked. Make that make sense?
So guess what? Block their ass too.
I can't.
Why?
Because listen, Brother Polite runs his chat. The people in his chat room are talking shit about me. I try to talk back to them. I'm blocked.
I'm like, hold on, listen to me. Listen to me, Tommy. I sat here and watched this feed go up and down, okay? I watched it go up and down. People say shit about me, but guess what? It's okay. When a person comes to my shit and writes something bad, I don't erase it. I leave it there because I need to remind them that they in America.
Oh no, I'm just pointing out that it's strange that whoever is moderating his stuff has a person on the panel that can't respond to the people watching. I've said it before and I still say it. It's open disrespect. Them people sitting there calling me crispy.
But what would you say to them? What is there to say to the people commenting?
You don't have to make a comment. Listen, let me tell you, I got people's names in my goddamn head that I watched some of the shit they said on here. Okay? But guess what? Guess what? Let me share this with you. Let me give you some food for thought. All right? Nothing.
Ass up too if it's any consolation.
But this is what I'm gonna tell you, Tommy. Nothing lives in my head rent free. They ain't paying me. That shit ain't staying there.
Oh no, dude! You have to understand why I'm doing it. I don't understand. It's like y'all don't get it, man. It's the weirdest thing. Fox News is pointing something out. When they get done, they go home. I'm pointing something out because I have an audience full of people on my side watching it, and I want them to know what's going on. I don't give a crap because everybody who so-called hates me are the same people who keep putting money in my pocket. I don't care what they do, but I do point it out so the rest of the world, the rest of the people watching can see how when the people try to put shit behind your back, they try to tie one arm behind your back. When they do stuff like that, I want people to understand what's happening. Not that I need to do it because I have my own chat room. I just want them to see that people that he has moderators who will block me, but the people who calling me crispy and shit about my daughter and my mom, well, they don't get blocked.
All right, Tommy.
And this is the platform I'm currently on that's doing it.
Tommy, I'm gonna ask you a question since you know so much about the moderators. When was the last time I had a moderator in here since this program started?
You got one right there named Leela Brown, who all they do is talk bad about me. That Leela Brown, all they do is talk bad about me. So one of your moderators that talks bad about me, and that might be the one who every time they've seen me, you hit me up earlier and asked me, was that really?
Hold on, brother, slow down.
I don't know what you're doing. I just know I'm getting blocked, sir. Why would I have to know what you're doing on your end when your moderators are doing it?
Well, I'm asking you a question so we can gain ground so you can have some understanding. But if you foretell everything that's taking place on my end, it's not fair because you wouldn't actually know.
I know I'm blocked.
Wait, could I say something?
Why would you say I don't know I'm blocked?
ADG.
You being blocked. You being blocked. Go ahead, sister.
AGD is real. That's mental health too.
Well, we need to even get back to that.
Real. It's real because we are supposed to be on here talking about, not talking about who said what about it. Tommy, listen. It's a part of the territory. If you allow yourself to be in the limelight, everybody's gonna point their finger. That's why I like that movie Scarface. Guess what? You need people like me to point the finger. So guess what? Say hello to the bad guy.
Now,
Simple as that.
No, I don't mind. That's the only reason why I came back. I don't mind being the bad guy because let me tell you, the perfectly honest reason of why I would even be here is to prove a point. That's it.
Tommy,
to prove
that point, brother, please let me speak because you do this every time. So let me just speak real quick, my brother, because this chat room is always bothering you. Let me explain something. I haven't had no one moderating for the last 35 minutes. This is true. You know why? Because the persons that were moderating both had somewhere to go, both had something to do. So
somebody would have.
Hold on real quick, brother. Hold on real quick. While you complain about people tearing into you, when I periodically check, they're tearing into me too. You cannot say you're not seeing any Brother Polite antagonists in there as well. And guess what? I have a tendency, people tell you on my chat, people will tell you, they can press 9 if it's true. They always complain to me because I leave the trolls in there just to build my mental fortitude to make sure I can handle it so I don't complain every time someone's talking. Now, you see, this is rude. But I'll continue to speak anyway, regardless. So I had my wife moderating at one point, and I had a brother named Real Ramo moderating. Real Ramo had to leave. I'll send you the text and the screenshot where he said, brother, I'm gonna have to leave at 10 o'clock Eastern time, that is. And it's now over there, 11:28. So he had to leave. I got a screenshot, I'll send it to you. That was my moderator. My wife had to leave to pick up my daughter from tennis practice, okay? To send her to an acting class right after that. So she's out the question. So the only person that can do any blocking at this point is me. The Leela person, I have no idea who the hell you talking about because I ain't assigned nobody named Leela or Lila to do any moderation for me. I didn't assign nobody.
You got a rant.
So, outside of that, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know who this Leela Brown person is that's doing this.
Lila is actually my big sister.
Oh, okay, because I don't know who the hell that is.
But she was on Saturday. Brother Polite, she was on Saturday when you got.
Okay, but
yeah, she's not moderating anything.
So Dennis, what I have to surmise is that Dennis probably locked you in to make you a moderator because I didn't do it. I only know about the moderators.
Well, hold on, I gotta say something, all right? I've been watching you twist it up for a minute, sister. Okay? Listen, don't allow nobody to rent space in your head for free. Okay? Don't let nobody get you to that point. Don't become angry. You need stuff like this.
Yeah.
This is really healthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it too, dear, and I never. I watched this woman look like I was saying the most ignorant shit possible. I was like,
no, it's about me wanting to speak, but I can't, and I'm respectful of the people who are featured on the platform today. So I've been holding my tongue. It's a lot of things I wanted to say tonight. Before you even came into the room, I want to address the Hebrew comments about misogyny and rape and 12-year-old. I want to address a lot of things. So it's not frowning up at you. I don't really follow your platform. I don't even know what your platform is about. But I will say this: whatever it is about, continue doing you. Why are you so concerned about what people say? What are they saying that's good about you? Focus on that and let that drive you. All the negativity, oh well, fuck it.
Why are you telling me what am I focusing on when we literally are having a topic?
I asked you, what are they saying that it's good about you?
I said, well, you said why focus on this part? I was brought on to talk about the side. Oh,
well, we can talk about cyberbullying, and if you feel like you're being bullied, I'm sorry.
Just forget.
Let's do it this way.
Just forget.
Here's a pattern that keeps developing. We're having a program, and then we wind up deferring our attention to what people are saying in the chat. And I always
hold on. We had a topic today of mental health. That's called ADHD.
Yes.
Attention deficit disorder, or the hypoattention deficit disorder. And listen, if y'all want to know if this shit real, goddamn it is real. Because I'm telling y'all something. I'm about to jump off this boat. Because I'm not going to carry this garbage. It's late at night. It's almost time for me to go to sleep here. I'm not carrying this in my bed with me tonight. Because this is some sick ass shit. And I just got to say that.
Yep.
We need to be talking about the mental health in our community. That's what we need to be talking about. We need to talk about them 2 10-year-old little kids that committed suicide. This is deep. And maybe we need to, hold on. Maybe we need to come back and have another platform with Tommy and address the issues that he has with Black women respectfully, so that we can listen. Because I really want that man to have his day with that. Because now I'm curious. All right? I want us to do this another way.
That's right.
Not now, because it ain't that time right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is something you got to really get mentally prepared for. This is a battle that I choose to stand in the front of the line with. Okay? But I am curious to know what did all Black women. That's what I want to know. I don't want to know about the white man. I don't want to know about this. I don't want to know about none of that shit. I want to stick to the facts at hand and know what is the issue with Black women. Make the understanding understood. But it's not for now. It is not for us to go through that right now.
Well, Deb, I've been trying to get you to come. Deb, I open up the offer again. You're welcome to come on my show, because when we were
listen, sweetheart. Listen, I want this understanding to be understood. And let me explain something to you. Your platform of the women that are there, that follow you, God forgive me and bless my heart for this. They're sick. Okay? And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm keeping it 100. I'm dead serious, y'all.
No, I agree with you, because I think no, Deb, I agree with you.
I want this to be on healthy ass grounds that we can really go through this, and everybody got to put their shit down.
That's right.
And be 100 on that goddamn platform. And everybody got to be able to take whatever comes to them. We got to be adults and take what comes to them. Now.
Well, Deb, can I say something, please?
Yes, you can.
I agree with you, because I believe that any female worth her salt that would listen to Waka Flocka music, she got to be sick. You got to be sick to listen to a man talk about fucking hoes, bitches, and talking about no, seriously, because you can't tell me, you can't say one thing and then turn around and tell me that I can't speak. I listen. I listen. Please let me speak.
Hold on. Don't worry, Tommy. Don't worry.
It is not appropriate that you do what you just did, and I can't say what I'm saying back. That's inappropriate.
Okay, no doubt. Let's not all talk at the same time. Hold on. We're gonna give everybody the mic.
Let me speak. I should be able to have a report.
I got you. I just want to tell everybody, let's not talk at the same time. And we must be nearing the end of the show, because we don't end the show with Tommy on without a bang. So we must be at that hour.
But am I wrong? I'm not saying I agreed with her when she said any woman who listens to me gotta be sick. I report the news about stuff that people are doing. Well, Waka Flocka talks about fucking hoes, taking drugs, bitches ain't shit. Now you gotta be a sick female to listen to a man say bitches ain't shit, to say you ain't nothing but hoes, to say I don't trust you bitches. You gotta be a sick woman to sing that song. Am I wrong?
No, don't do that.
Okay,
Please,
now,
don't.
brother Family.
Please let him talk. Please, I'm asking you politely.
Well, I should be able to talk if somebody else was able to talk and there was no cutting them off.
No,
And I even agreed that with their point.
Tommy, go ahead and talk. Talk.
Well, I just think it's weird again. Brother Polite, I don't know why you keep doing this, but I don't even ask that question no more. I know why you do it. Because it makes no sense that you didn't cut that one. You didn't cut anybody off when they were saying stuff about me, and I just sat here and listened.
Hold on, sister. I was actually asking your fucking ass to chill because the people missed some of what you said because they said what you were saying was being cut off. To repeat what you were saying because they missed some of what you said.
Well, if you were asking me my fucking ass to repeat it, then maybe you could have asked their fucking ass to stop. I was very calm in my response, and you allowed other people to keep talking to me.
I'm asking you to chill so you can hear what you're saying because they wasn't able to hear what you were saying before.
Why couldn't they? I'm sorry. Why couldn't they hear what I was saying before?
Because they said it was breaking up. I'm reading what they said in the chat. They said it was breaking up. They said it was breaking up. So I wanted you to repeat what you were saying because they missed some of what you were saying. I wasn't trying to cut you off so I can speak. I have nothing to say to you.
Well, apparently Deb thought you were trying to cut me off.
Brother.
Well, apparently Deb thought you were trying to cut me off too.
I don't care if Deb thought I was trying to cut you off. I'm talking to you, black man. It's not about if she thought that. It's about you saying I'm cutting you off.
Well, go
ahead and speak, brother. Go ahead and do what you do. But damn it, I was just trying to make you say what you said before because some people missed it. Stop all this emotional crap.
Oh, like you're being right now? Because I'm sorry, all that yelling and hard brow, all that hard brow at the camera, you look very emotional, sir. You appear very
emotional for the right reason.
You appear very emotional.
Yeah, go ahead and talk, bro. Go ahead and talk. I just can't stand to see men behave like this. God
like
damn.
How you're acting?
No, like how you're acting. Now go and speak, brother. Speak all the shit you had to say.
Act like me, then maybe you shouldn't act like how you're acting because you seem very, I don't know, maybe you calm down into some incense, some candles. I'm not really sure, but you seem really mad.
Go ahead. Do you have anything that you had to say that people missed?
I don't know.
Or you don't want to
know what they missed, and I don't really care because my audience heard it.
That makes perfect sense. So long as only the people that know you heard it. That makes perfect sense.
Because the people that know you don't give a shit. Like you said, my fucking ass, they're idiots. Your audience is a bunch of idiots.
No problem, brother.
No.
Okay, hold on, stop. Tommy, can I go there? Are we finished?
I'm done. I said what I said. You understood what I said, but you.
Okay, Tommy, can I speak now?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first, let me clarify some things, okay? Those women that agree with you that they're whores and bitches, I find them to be sick. Okay? That's the first thing. I didn't say all your people are. I said those people that listen to that deal with that shit, and I'm going to stay there again. So let me tell you this. I never talked about your daughter. I never brought it into play. Remember what I said. All the kids are off women.
But it's not a kid. That's a grown man that has a platform like mine.
Hold on, brother.
Let me explain something to you, sweetheart. I want to make this understood to you. My son could be 50 years old. He's always going to be my baby.
Okay, and I'm somebody's son then. By that logic, you shouldn't say nothing to me because not only am I somebody's son, but I'm somebody's dad. And the people who listen to me, are somebody's moms or wives, and you said they're sick.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Father.
Am I missing something?
If people allow you,
you got to stop cutting her off.
You're not even listening to what I'm saying because I'm not putting your ass down. Okay? I've always given you the benefit of the doubt. That's the first thing. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt until they show me something different. Now, I could be a very polite person or I could be another person because that shit is in me too. I feel that if a real woman was on your shit a long time ago, then women should have came together and tried to get you together and see what the hell is wrong with you. Point blank, period. Not for amusement. Not to get on your shit for amusement, to listen to the shit you be saying and watching your goddamn pain. I don't think that's cute. I want to be on a neutral ground. So now we don't have to come and join forces and get some sense up into them. I said nothing to you to insult you. I said nothing to you to disrespect you. Since I've been on this damn shit with these people, I've been speaking up for you. Not that that matters. And I'm still not going to take back what I say. I know you are severely damaged. I knew that from the first day that I ever laid eyes on you, and I listened to what you said, and I listened to what people said. This shit ain't no joke. This shit ain't funny to me. This shit real. And at the end of the day, instead of people stabbing you, they need to be trying to help you. They need to be trying to heal and suture the wounds you got. I need a different platform. I need a platform of women. We're not personalizing no stuff. Because you know what? You can call me a bitch. Only thing I'm asking you to do is call me Miss Bitch. Put a title in the front of that. Because I earned that. That's all I'm telling you. I know who I am. I know who and I know what I am. That's what I know. And right now, my son does EDM music. He ain't did no music on the bitches and hoes in a long time.
Talk it.
So, let's go into something else. I told you, all children are always off limit. I don't care if you had a 30-year-old child. That's your child, and it's off limits. I am also somebody's mother. I am also somebody's grandmother. I am also somebody's sister. And I am also somebody's daughter. I am too. So, but we're not going there. Only hit dogs holler, and that's how I always feel. Now, I'm not doing nothing to disrespect you. I don't want that platform.
Tommy,
I've had a glimpse of it. I've had a glimpse of the platform. I've had that. I only want grown-ass people in the room that want to do grown-ass things, that want to make grown-ass things happen.
Hold on, Dad. Tommy, unmute your mic. Your mic is mute. Unmute your mic. Tommy, can you hear? There you go. He should be back on. Go ahead.
One thing I don't like doing is disrespecting men. I don't care what man it is. I don't like disrespecting men because I know I got a vicious tongue. I know I do. I was trained by men. And I know my tongue is vicious. And that's not what I want to do. I don't want to beat you down no more than what you've been beat down already. I want to give you some love. I want to try to help you. I don't need you falling down. I don't need to lose you. We're in a goddamn war right now. We got issues. I need every goddamn man that's out there. Every one of them. I need this damn fighting. I don't need this bullshit. I'm not trying to put you down.
Tommy, you have anything?
And I'm not trying to put you down.
I'm not gonna stop.
Anything to say in response?
You have an audience full of people who listen to me, who were just insulted, and they're somebody's mother, wives, sister, and child. And they were able to be insulted by an individual who does not know them, who does not know me, who cannot even tell you the last video of mine that they watched and what was it about. But they just told you I'm damaged and that anybody who listens to me, that's a female, has to be crazy and sick. Now, normally, I would bring out some of the paperwork, but I'm not going to bring out the receipts. But typically what we want to do is know more about people and their situation before we make an assessment like that. But I still would ask that anybody who can make that type of assessment about me can tell me the last video of mine they watched so they can be able to explain why they were able to call people's mothers, daughters, nieces sick for being a fan of mine. Because as she stated, only hit dogs holler. So maybe those women who follow me are dogs that didn't get hit. Maybe they know the difference between who I'm talking about and who I'm not. But let's not bring up that fact. Let's just make a blanket statement and then turn around and say that anybody else who makes blanket statements is wrong.
So tell me, I'm woman enough to apologize to you and apologize to those women. Okay? I'm woman enough to do that. But when you're referring, because that's all I keep seeing is what you say. What you say about women. Now, I'm reading it as it go along. You ain't the only one. They're talking about all of us. But I'm reading these things. And people are very angry about that. So you do have another set that is very angry. And you know what? I am wrong. I don't have the right to talk about them, and you're so right about that. But I tell you still, I still stand this way. We need to be on a neutral ground.
Well, that's why I asked you. I've never, look, I'm on Brother Polite's show.
Right.
I came on yours that morning, remember? I've never had a problem with going anywhere to talk to someone about whatever it is they would like to talk about. Never. Go anywhere. Because I believe that what I'm doing is correct, and why I do it is correct.
Let me tell you what people also said. During that, the first time that we had the pleasure of meeting with that incident that happened with those kids, you also was calling us ignorant, what we didn't know how to do. And I will tell you this, okay? I just did build my radio station, and I'm still learning it because I've never known nothing about radio. I don't know nothing about it. So every day is a process for me, and every day I'm learning something new. But I've also got screened where people were sending me how you call me ignorant. Not me per se, but I'm gonna take it from me because it's still my station. But all of these things were said, which is just not right because I don't know nothing about no damn radio. But I just knew that there was a woman that I needed to speak to that was going after some kids. So one thing about it, two things for sure, I'm a strong advocate when it comes to children. That's big for me.
Can I ask you a question?
You can ask me anything you want to ask me, sweetie.
When I was saying that someone was ignorant, what is the definition of ignorant? Because you just said, I was ignorant, and then you said, I didn't know how to do this.
We use the word. We know that ignorance is something that somebody don't have any
knowledge. But when you ask me, but when you ask me about what I said, my words were ignorant as to not knowing how to get the thing to work. So no matter what anybody else said, if you listen to what
I like that one.
Tommy is muted again.
Hey, unmute your mic, Tommy. I didn't do it. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, me neither.
I think we good. I don't think there's going to be any interjections. I think we working good.
Yeah.
People on your panel right now who keep clicking that mute button.
Yeah, it's not me, and I'm asking.
I didn't say you were. I'm saying you have people on your panel right now. That's just making me look, well, not on my end, your end. I just look stupid because I'm sitting up here talking. And they just keep doing it. And it's probably, and I don't think it's green screen. I don't think he's doing it.
No, it's not green screen. Don't worry about it. Let's not deviate. I'm gonna handle it, brother Tommy. Do your thing. Keep speaking. Don't break a thing out of it. Let's go forward, brother. I got you. Let's not deviate. If the chat room took a lot of our time, and now the mutant thing is gonna take our time, I'm gonna handle it. Keep talking about the subject matter so we don't deviate. I got
that idiot on the still sitting there, just like Deb was saying. She look, I'm just like her cousin in the chat room doing the same thing. Grown individual. Just keep doing that. Now, when you listen to the whole idea of ignorant, I use the word ignorant. Now, she'll probably mute me again, sitting up there but when you use the word ignorant, I used it in the correct manner. And you can go back and see that I used it in the correct manner. As you did not know, or the station didn't know. I didn't blame you because I figured you were a personality. You weren't working the board. So how could I call you ignorant?
Do you not know that there are words that people can play with that can have you become aggressive?
Let me tell you how I use English in the way it's supposed to be used. If other people use it another way, that ain't my fault. I am not going to sit around and try and worry about, because everything you say, Deb, can be used by somebody who didn't like it, and you know it. You can be speaking directly to someone, and that person you're speaking to understand exactly what you're talking about. And somebody who saw it took offense. It is not your job, nor will it ever be my job, to make sure that someone understands what I meant when the words by English standards were direct.
on this platform, you have an obligation to make the understanding understood.
No, not on that one. No, what you're complaining about is I was talking to my audience. You said someone screenshotted it and sent it to you. That's not my job.
Tommy, let me tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to spend here for an hour talking about that one thing. The understanding is understood.
Would have never brought it up.
I apologize for going there and saying what I said at that time, because I'm woman enough to admit that. But what I won't do is to become repetitive and saying the same thing over and over again. I got your point. The message is definitely understood. It's definitely. I cannot spend this much time going back and forth with this negative ass shit. I can't do that. That's not who I am. I'm not very good with stuff like that. If we're going to do something that's going to be productive, and then that's cool. But if we're going to sit here and keep going back and forth with the stuff over and over again.
But I don't want to, Deb. You know what's sad to me? Because I was brought over here, I thought we were talking about.
I already let my shrimps get cold, and I sat here. I ain't had nothing to eat all day. I've been filming all day. I didn't eat. I don't went through all that stuff. I don't want to go through all that.
But Deb, I didn't come here for this. I came here because I thought we were talking about a mental health issue and bullying.
I want us. Can I ask you a question?
You can ask me several.
Okay. Do you think you do internet bullying?
No, because here's what I think internet bullying would be by the definition. Let me make sure I give it the definition of it, and then I will see if that is what I do. And if it is what I would do, like you, I should be able to apologize.
Good question.
But it was a very good question. That's why I want to make sure. Cyberbullying is when a child, preteen, or teen is tormented, threatened, harassed, humiliated, embarrassed, or otherwise targeted by another child, preteen, or teen using the internet, interactive and digital technologies, or mobile phones. Let's see if there's another definition. What is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is what takes place using electronic technology. Examples of cyberbullying including mean text or emails, rumors sent by email, posted by social media sites, and embarrassing pictures, videos, websites, or fake profiles. What do? I see the news. I talk about the news. I talk about what I see in the Black community. That is not internet bullying. Why? Because you have to literally come to me to be bullied. And that is not what bullying is. If I have to come to you to see the bullying, that's not bullying. That's like if I'm in my house and me and my wife or girlfriend or whatever, we doing the freakiest stuff. You come look through the window and complain about the freaky stuff we're doing. That's literally what people do to me. I don't post my videos in places they're not wanted. Nobody has ever been able to see me post my videos in a Black woman's group. Nobody sees me go to these people's Facebook page and post my video and say, here you go. So it cannot be bullying if I'm doing it in my own sanctuary and you come to see it willingly. That is the opposite of bullying.
So you're not posting nothing embarrassing about Black women and using it to cause more or further embarrassment.
No, they've already posted it, sir. I'm not. If you sent me a text message and I posted it, I bullied you. If you put a text message online and I talked about it, I didn't bully you.
Oh, so no matter what your intention is.
No, if you put it out there, if it's embarrassing that you put it out, it cannot be the person who's bullying you because you put it out.
Can somebody use something to embarrass someone else that was already disclosed to the public?
Brother POLIGHT, do you understand that if I was in this show, I'm answering the question. Do you think if I acted a fool on this show right now and other people posted it, I can now claim they're bullying me?
That's at their discretion, but what I'm asking you is something different. I'm asking you through your intentions, can you use something to bully others? Can you use a source material or picture or video as a reference point to shun other people?
That is not called bullying. By that logic, we're bullying Donald Trump.
I'm just asking questions.
I've answered it. I've continued to answer it. If it's something that's public, nobody has ever said Donald Trump is being bullied.
Read through the definition again. And I'll stop you at the point where I think you're guilty.
Listen, I gotta just say one thing. I'm gonna say goodnight because my head is hurting. And this is a lot going on right here. I don't see we're really gonna get anywhere. I'm not talking about bullying, really. I'm not talking about mental health. That's games, okay? So I just needed to understand, what did he feel? Does he feel like he does any type of thing that bullying? Or I don't even know what the hell to say right now, because that battle right there, it just ain't mine right now.
I'll tell you that I thank you for joining us.
There's a lot to deal with at the end of the day. It is really a lot to deal with. You understand? So
you did a wonderful job today. I thank you for enlightening us, and I don't want to take away from.
I gotta jump up this. Whenever y'all want to come together, and we talk about Black women and what they've done to Tommy to make him feel like this, like I'm really curious about that.
I keep on telling you I will have the discussion with you, but you keep on you keep making innuendos, which is unfair if the person's saying.
Tommy, listen to me. With you is very difficult for me right now because there's a platform here, okay? There's an audience, and the audience pumps people up and they make people feel good, all right? I'm 100% woman. I need you to really understand that. And I'm also a woman that can hold my own. And I'm also a woman whose skin is very thick, and I'm okay with that. But on another platform, I'd like to talk to you with no audience involved. And then it would be something different. And not only audience that you would get the true me face to face here, is face to face.
I'm offering it. I'll even come to Atlanta to talk to you if you'd like. But to keep on, I will do what you asked me to, Deb.
Because this here, for me, I don't need an audience. I don't really care about this stuff. But this here is a lot for me. It is too much for me. And I can't do this. I just cannot do this right now. I just can't. It's too much. I thank you so much for allowing me to come sit on your platform. Anytime. I did actually enjoy myself. I learned a lot of new things. Right before y'all walk out, I learned a lot of new things.
Yes, you did great.
Everybody on here be blessed. I even want my haters to stay more blessed because they're my marketing team. And I need them to be able to get to work real fast.
Thank you, Deb. Appreciate you coming on.
Say good night, dude. I love y'all. Later.
Thanks for the wisdom.
Oprah. I got you, but I need you
for the wisdom.
Bye, sister.
Bye, sweetie.
Did an amazing job, sister. You did amazing. You learned a lot. You empowered a lot of people with your vision. And so we commend you. So now Sister Deb is gone, I believe. And then there were 4. Now let me stop. So yeah, Brother Tommy, I since we were getting at the end of the show, I already told myself once we go past the 2-hour threshold, we have to tread light on these waters because maybe we start getting cranky because it's getting late. So I'm being extra precautious to make sure we can leave on a great note because we normally do everything else so very powerfully straight throughout.
Well, I will say this before I go.
Go ahead, brother.
The topic was what brought me here because the cyberbullying and the whole idea of mental illness are 2 things that I talk about a lot on my show, that we have a lot of undiagnosed mental illness in the Black community. And we don't believe in getting help for it because we think it's weak for us to go and seek mental health.
I said the same thing earlier before you came here.
Mm-hmm. And we would never tell someone who broke their arm that they shouldn't go get it in a cast or see a doctor. But the mind is something that we as Black people believe you should just buck up, get over it. And we never try to sit down and talk to those people and have them talk to professionals, get help. And I think that's destroying us because people are walking around having children. I had a saying, which is kind of, I guess, messed up, but I say, We got slow ass people having slower ass people in the black community. And nobody says anything. When I was growing up, I remember seeing retarded chicks with babies. You knew the chick was retarded and she still was able to have a baby, and nobody said a word about it. They didn't try to get her help. You know what, brother, though? I want to thank you for letting me come on here. I don't know who farted in that woman's face, but y'all have the worst people on it. That whore that just keeps flashing up, just keep making faces. The one who kept muting me.
Mute you for one. Let me say this.
Seriously. No, whoever you are,
I don't have to mute
you be blessed. You be blessed.
But
And
bye-bye.
be blessed. I
don't have to mute you. But if I could, I would. Trust me, I would.
This guy is crazy.
The thing about it is, I don't have the power to mute him. But he don't like black women. He don't like black women. You know what I'm saying? His mom hurt him because she was a hoe, so he says, and his grandma and his aunt and all those people. Hi. Okay. Anyways, his mom hurt him, and he don't like black women, and he's taking it out on every black woman because his mommy didn't love him and hug him enough. And is his wife white? Is she white? Is she black? Is he married? I don't know. I don't follow the man. I don't have to mute you. You need to mute yourself, you know. But they always come on the show and they always think I'm doing something to them, and I'm not doing anything. Young Pharaoh, she's attacked. I didn't attack you. I'm just sitting here chilling, reading comments like he's reading all the comments, stuck in the comments. Misogyny. He's misogynistic. I understand her point of calling them, the women that follow him, sick. I ain't gonna apologize. I'm gonna call them sick. Deb can apologize because she's a respectful lady. I'm not gonna apologize. They are sick because, for one, they're stuck in something like religion that is misogynistic and against black women. Any woman that sits there, because we do it at church, we sit and listen to the preacher and we read the Bible that bashes women, and we say okay to that. That's a sickness. That's a mental illness. You know what I'm saying? And then his followers who sit there and see him and listen to him dish out black women, and they follow him, that is sick. Either they addicted to it or they used to it because they daddy probably didn't love them. So people get offended, but let me stop talking. Let me stop. I had a lot to say.
It's okay to vent your frustrations, but understand the intention that he had before he left the show was so you can be flustered. So
yeah,
don't
of
feel
course.
You know, that was extremely mature him or strategic or immature, however you want to take it. But I think you, sister,
it was strategic. It was strategic. He had to end on that note. Clearly, it was only strategic. Like,
yeah,
it was just strategic.
Yeah.
I guess because I was sitting here, but he used the word retarded, and I'm sorry, the choice of words is not wise to use. Retarded women was having babies and more retarded.
Let me tell you this. Mm-hmm. He oftentimes speaks about making sure he gets people to do what he wants to prove his points. Mm-hmm. This hostility, and you haven't misrepresented yourself right now. Let me say that so you don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But I would believe the intention would be to have us talking about him negatively, show and defer our attention away from all of what we've managed to accomplish. So I don't want to close out talking about him.
Absolutely not.
I'm going to close out talking about the positivity that this show had at the very beginning, because we all know this thing got negative once he started talking about the chat rooms, and he does this all the time, the chat room shit. But today I'm like, it got to stop. Let me screenshot some of the stuff. And then people was even saying he just was dogging me out. And then he comes here and acts differently. I don't know. I can't prove it, but I never let that compromise me. I didn't even look for it. Let me screenshot some of the comments on his section to show, hey, people are saying very mean things about my family in his chat room, while he discusses how everybody's talking crazy over here. As hosts, we should never deviate at hand to discuss what people are saying in the chat room. People didn't log on to read the chat room. They logged on to watch the stream. So I believe for some reason, either it's strategic for him to have us go there at certain points in the conversation, because every conversation I ever had with him, he winds up talking about the chat room, or how Tariq Nasheed ran up on him. These two things keep coming up. Don't no one brings these things up. He brings them up all the time. So either he's affected negatively by it to the extent he has to say something about it because he's not far removed from it, or he strategically inserts it into conversation when the conversation is going somewhere. Whatever the case is, I don't have no true account of what's going on in his mind. None, and so everybody else doesn't have no account of what's going on in his mind. Only thing we can say is that he's a very interesting fellow.
Can I add a small piece in here real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
I just think it was very strategic how his philosophy is this. If a woman gets into a man's face and she hits a man, that man now has the right to hit her back with the same intensity or more. Meaning, if you open up a door, then you can't be mad if somebody walks through it. I don't see how he's able to then complain that people are criticizing him when he makes a living criticizing people. Or he says that it was very distasteful for people to attack his children instead of just keeping it with him and attacking him. And then he attacked Deb's son. And then it just seemed like everything was strategic that he complained about. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I normally find him when he's in his, his normal combative role, I find it entertaining, but it just seemed like tonight it was so much complaining and whining that I just didn't see where that was all,
It's all immaturity. It's all immaturity.
Well, I think,
right, but I think it just took away from the mental platform, or maybe it didn't take away from the mental issue platform.
Well, we just witnessed mental illness. We just witnessed mental illness and everything we were talking about. Him being on the platform today was everything wrong with mental illness. You are concerned, like you're so strong mentally, but you're so sensitive to comments. It's like you do all this bashing, but then you can't take comments that people say about you. But when somebody dishes it back, you can't take it and you cry about it. And we made a whole hour platform about time.
Me in the chat, they was killing you in the chat. The chat is the chat. That's where hate lives.
Right, and no one cares. Like we see it and we don't see it. It's like who cares? At the end of the day, they watching us. So
I think Deb showed incredible resilience, and I think she was showing her maturity and teaching us not only through the beginning of the show with her wisdom, but then when the show got a little crazy, I think she still taught all the way through the show and showing how to kind of conduct yourself in that scenario and being able to stay on your square even when dealing with somebody trying to hit you beneath the belt and antagonize you, because that was definitely antagonistic. So I think she graced us with a lot of wisdom tonight from beginning to end. I think it was a great show, even though we had the negative turn with the chat and the who mute my line kind of thing.
Yeah, well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even look at it as negative. I look at it as, hey, he did what he came here to do. Right. I mean, there was other things that we could have discussed. I did want to talk about the whole Hebrew video that POLIGHT put up. I guess we could say that for another day.
Yeah, but the problem I have is he took up over an hour.
Dennis, you're muted.
No, he live.
Right, because I would have to be live for you to hear that. But he took over an hour. He made it about him, and it was going smoothly. And that's the problem I have. It wasn't about him, and he made it about him with the comments, which he shouldn't have been focusing on. He should have been focusing on the subject matter. So I believe it was strategic. I mean, he does this. He has enough. He does this on a regular. He knows how to produce a show. He also knows how to distract from someone else's show. So I think probably most of that was strategic. And probably that's why he got muted 2 or 3 times by me. I'll just leave that there. It's interesting. He just called her out, Oprah out, and he just honed in on her, and she had nothing to do with anything. So I'm just watching how he picked on her, and it just, you know, you were muted, but you can't point to who muted you. I muted him. It was getting out of hand. He was talking over her. I didn't know how to unmute him. Once I muted him, he had to unmute himself. So I muted him.
Oh, man. Well, I tell you what, he's very interesting. Despite the fact he did a slanderous video on me prior to this show, I didn't treat him no negative way.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I saw that.
After the last show,
I saw that. I saw the comment come in, and I said, okay.
Yeah, he did a slanderous video. Okay, talking about one of my wives getting pregnant by another man, which is absolutely false.
Wait, just
And
now?
so-
Recently?
After that show we did,
Yeah.
he did a show. But
Wow.
you know, this is what people do.
And then came on here and played the victim all night.
And played the victim. But guess what? Look how I behave around him, though. Did you see any malice? I got mad is when he wanted to shut the fuck up so I can have him repeat what he was saying. Oh, I got pissed. Like, yo, you're complaining about getting cut off. I'm trying to tell you, people didn't hear some of what you just said. Worried him to let him know, I just want you to repeat what you just said. Then he didn't remember what the hell he was talking about after the fight he put up.
He was combative. He was combative. And
yeah, so to
at some
come on
point,
here,
you have to draw the line.
Listen, Brother Dennis, see, listen, what happened?
after
He
you
did
disrespect
that
my family,
Right, I was just about to say, he did that show, so he came on here probably expecting a retaliation for him doing that show. So he was super combative and strategic, thinking that, you know, like he's waiting for a punch to come, but the punch never came. So you just acting super.
We never knew about that show. I didn't know about the show.
I didn't know about
it. I knew about it, but there was no need for it because, you know, I'm like, yeah, people saying something about something. It's all good. We'll find out. It remains to be seen. But you know, people gonna send it to me. You know, I'm gonna get it if nobody else gets it.
You didn't know about it prior to bringing them in.
I did. You know, I'm Brother Polite. If someone titles Brother Polite in their video and says something about my wife, you know, I'm gonna get it.
Well,
correct?
I must have been.
You think somebody ain't gonna
I
send
must
it to
have been
me?
slipping because I didn't see that, and I would have probably advised against the brother coming on tonight, just because we had a guest. We had a guest on. We had a guest on that was bringing a lot to the table, and I think he distracted from what we were doing. So
that's the name of the game. But this is why it's important. Like I said, the last show I said it was important for him to go crazy so we could see him for what he is. And this show was important for him to see that despite what he says about Black people in general, and what he says he doesn't feel for Black women versus what he does, it was important for him to see, like, hey, my wife ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. You get on the show to cover the subject matter. That's all we want him to do, cover the subject.
Right, but now it looks like he purposely disrupted this show, and then he kept trying to invite Deb onto his show or to do the show somewhere else. So it's like, what kind of, like, what you know, that's what kind of shit is this, man? That's crazy.
He came in to offer an invitation. He tried that 3 or 4 times. Well, you come over here. Come on over here.
You see, watch this. And watch this. For the people that don't get it, Ashley and I, we were just close and connecting. That's all we was doing. And we decided to go our ways. She has her vision. I have my vision. That's it. But we ain't, you know, we do what we do. We let people say what they say. Business. But the way people try to put it out, because people hate me. She left you to go with Music Soul Child. That nobody fucking leave me. None of my wives ever left me for another man. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying I got a lot of things under the belt, literally, that if all else fails, my mind ain't there. Something else is. I'm just saying. Now, you can call that what you want to call it, but I'm just saying I got two things going for me.
Boss.
I got two things going real good for me, and they don't come in that combination much. Is we have our own vision. So I got crazy love for that woman. That woman loves me too. We cool. But you're not going to hear her say, I have beef with Brother Polite and I had to leave and I found this man, he's better. You're not going to hear her say that. You're not going to hear me say that woman's a bitch. She fucking left me and did this, that, and the third while I was over here taking care. That ain't what happened. You see, people don't understand the dynamics of this situation. They don't understand that there's a different type of process that takes place in my world. And when we decide if we're going to do something or not going to do something, it just gets done. We don't put out a memo to the public to say, hey, public, we just want you to know we decided to do this or not decide to do that. But people got to be for real. People hate me so much, they got to make scandal out of nothing, because if you didn't hear nothing from Ashley and you didn't hear nothing from Polite, then how could Tommy be in my bedroom?
Well, that's what I'm about to say. Maybe that's a clever way to attack the black woman, because you seem to be propping them up very publicly.
That's right. Ashley is
like a pillar to them. So maybe to try to attack you, to attack them vicariously, maybe that failed. So now let's highlight the fact that
when a man says life leaves him to go with this musician, when a man says that, that's extremely disrespectful to her, to her daughter, to me, and to my family. Because you're misrepresenting people, you're misrepresenting my judgment and character for women. And you're misrepresenting her character as a woman and as a mother. Because she didn't do anything promiscuous. Her interactions with me. She didn't do nothing underhanded. She didn't commit no form of adultery, whether in the de facto sense or in the literal sense. Nothing disrespectful to me whatsoever. People got to stay out of people's bedrooms or ask questions before they post things about people's bedrooms. That woman never disrespected me. I have no drama or no problem with that woman. That woman didn't say, you know, I got these different emotions and something came up and I had to. None of that happened. People love soap operas, and even more than the love for the soap opera, they hate me that much. That they make everything something chaotic. Everything's a damn conspiracy. And the reason why I never spoke about it ever is because it ain't necessary to draw people into people's business. But just because it's relevant, the fact that this man showed his face on his show, I ain't saying nothing to him about it either. I only text him now and said, let me enlighten you, bro, that I'm familiar. I know what's going on. I know, let me enlighten you. You feel me? I told him that is extremely disrespectful and only attests to the hatred you have for me. You feel what I'm saying? Because you have to hate me to say my wife left me and got pregnant with somebody else. A call, that's like, you must hate me. And guess what? If it did happen, it wouldn't even be an embarrassment, because things happen. But it didn't happen. But if that happened, what would I be down to? 4 wives? I mean, most niggas is out of wives after that happens. What the fuck kind of, I don't understand people. I can do bad.
And then there were 4.
Then there were 4. You know, what kind of niggas? You only have 4 wives now. What kind of niggas do that shit?
I just think it's crazy that he would come on and go on for about an hour about people attacking him and his family. After attack, now in light of him attacking, doing a show, attacking your family, and then attack Deb's son live on video with Deb on the line. That was crazy.
That was crazy. And I didn't even know Waka.
That was.
We got too much powerful energy. Listen,
he didn't respect the guests on the show. He disrespected everyone on the show, with the exception of myself and Inky. But he took a shot at Deb's son. He took a shot at Oprah. He took a shot at you.
Wait, he took a shot at Oprah, and Oprah was on mute the whole time.
And look, and after he shot everybody, he came out trying to show us holes through his. Like, nigga, come on, cut it out.
Oh, that was crazy.
You disrespected everybody on the platform, and then you turn around and play victim. And guess what? Deb allowed him to play victim. I allowed him to play victim. You know what happened to him? That got him upset. You niggas got the nerve to allow me to play victim. He didn't even know what to do. So, like, bro, you know, we not here. We
so powerful. We did a show on mental illness, and we literally attracted a live case study. Like, we opened up a vortex, and a live case study came through. Bam! I have a mental illness. I hate women. I hate my mom. Oprah, damn it, I'm getting ready to attack you just because you're black and you're a woman. You haven't said anything the whole show, but I can see you. You're on. You're a target. That was crazy. Yeah. Brother Polite, let me tell you something, man. And I've been telling you this for years. You're getting the success you're getting because you are very, 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 very strong. And not a lot of people could be able to do the things that you do. I know it because I'm saying, speaking from my point of view myself, I would not be able to allow somebody to come on my platform after just, like, that's just a us. That's just a us to you, brother, because that takes an incredible amount of maturity to be able to still allow that kind of energy to come into the show. And then obviously he didn't get rid of all his energy on his show because he came in with that kind of vibe still. You know, he still wore that kind of energy. I mean, I haven't really, you know, this is my only couple of interactions with him. I just didn't think that he really moved like that. I thought that he would be much more intelligent business-wise. And of course, he's making money. He's making money. You know, everybody uses how much money they're making to judge their intelligence business-wise. But to come on here and to attack Deb and her son that way live in front of everybody, that just wasn't intelligent. I don't care who you are, what you think you're doing. And then to attack the sister like that wasn't saying anything, wasn't bothering anybody. I think that was crazy. But, hey, you know, you're a bigger man than me. You're a bigger man than me, brother.
I do my best. But, you know, like I said, this is what I'm trying to teach Tommy about this chat room thing, because he's obviously has a problem with people saying all that negative stuff. It's getting to him. He's going to lose his mind a whole lot dealing with it. But I tell you this, I'm seasoned in this. And this is why I wasn't lying when I said, yo, I normally leave the trolls in there. My family be actually start the block party, but I normally let them get a good hours off before any block party, because I like to see it and let it go there to understand that whether I can block them here in the real world, separate from this virtual realm, I won't be able to block people from saying negative things. So a lot of times I like to leave it the way it is to come into acceptance that I just won't be able to stop people from saying negative things. I don't want to get so comfortable with the luxury that if I'm on someone else's platform, I got to yell at the host, why are you not blocking the people talking about me? And I don't want to deviate from the actual subject matter or premise at hand. So I make sure myself, I take the antagonism. It's part of growth, and it's part of what I signed up for, being a public figure. For people to say I'm a fraud because one of my daughters isn't my biological child. For people to say, hey, your wife left you to go with a musician who him and I is cool, and I share information with this black man on health. You know, it's like, yo, listen, what people are making out of situations is very weird and erratic. I could call Music Soul Child right now on the phone. We're cool. We're friends. You see what I'm saying? So what people have to create, that's part of what's going on in their head, in their world. In their world, black men and black women can't feel each other out. Keep it real in the process. Any woman that I'm feeling out, I'm going to give her the love and esteem as everybody else, and she gets that close to me. And if we decide that, you know what, in the courting process or however you want to call it, that we should part our ways, because we didn't officialize anything, then at least we did it like that before we make a baby and then realize we don't belong with each other. You feel what I'm saying? So we came to terms and decided where we good at. That woman's my heart. I love her, man. I love any woman come in contact with me or I encounter, but she ain't never did nothing wrong by me. Never. So I don't like people to try to use her as a means to try to embarrass me, disrespect me, and disrespect her. Because people who don't like her and people that don't like me switch the roles. So they either say, aha, good for Polite, or two, that's fucked up what you did to Polite, which is still part of that aha, good for Polite too. When neither one of the two exists. I think people should chill. You ask for Black people to deal with each other on the level where they can get together or they can part. There's no drama, there's no beef. You ask Black people to do it. But when Black people learn how to engage each other on some level and separate in a healthy manner without drama, then you turn that into something chaotic. This is the sickness in the Black community. You got to turn it into an L for the Black man and turn her into a harlot. But I thought y'all said y'all wanted to see Black people come together, not necessarily make babies, fill each other out, maybe go their ways before they can. Ain't this what you asked for? Didn't you ask for Black men and women to not beef just because they were connected with each other? I thought this is what we wanted. And when it happens, let's antagonize both parties and tell the world something went wrong when nothing went wrong. We have no drama. I can guarantee you that. That woman ain't say nothing fucking crazy about me. Ain't say nothing crazy about her. And you wouldn't find it. We're cool. Great friends. So, it's sad. Like I said, I ain't speak on it because I like people talk their crazy talk because I like them to exhaust their talk because then when they see everybody hanging out and chilling with each other, look stupid. I normally don't like to articulate where people go stupid. I like people to just see it for what it is and go, whoa.
Well, let me say this, brother. I think that because I don't want his effort tonight to be successful and undermine the fact that you are bringing people to the community to speak on very serious topics that we normally wouldn't be able to be personable with. And so I definitely want to thank you for providing a platform, bringing Sister Deb on, shedding some light on the mental issues, even though we had the explosion. It was a very, very, very powerful show still. And I think that people got to see live some of these things.
Iggy, this is what's the best about it. If somebody watches the show from beginning to end, they'll be able to make an assessment of what took place. I say it just like that.
And what point it took
place? You can watch it from beginning to end and you can see where the energy is.
No, but I mean, I just want to make sure your effort is highlighted. No, but I just want to make sure your effort is highlighted and people can see that you're not just in Cali and you're not thinking about the people. You're actually bringing these personalities to the family so we can discuss real powerful family issues. That's very important.
Because obviously he's not trying to bring those type of people on his platform. So.
Well, nobody is. That's what makes what POLIGHT is doing is unique. And, it took a long time to get in position to even get to these personalities. And a lot of people wouldn't turn back. So to bring these people back to the community, to uplift the community with these people is very powerful. And I think that sometimes when people see that, his whole objective now, especially in light of you saying he just did a show on you, now we see this was all strategic. He came in here, made a lot of chaos. Hey, come on my platform. Come on my platform. No, let's talk on my platform.
Oh, yeah, we don't do this over there. You'll come over here. I've been trying to get over. Come on. You know what? The last two streams, it was you that caused the problem.
Exactly.
You didn't do it before you got on.
Yeah, then I think it's very disrespectful if people attack your family. Nigga, please, what?
and then his explanation about the word ignorance. I saw that clip, and the clip was belittling her staff. And while he said, well, I used the word ignorant mean this, you use it in a derogatory manner, and it played out around the world in a derogatory manner.
Listen, he was
You're not talking
very
to fools.
facetious by even trying to introduce the idea of discussing how to use the word ignorant and what the word ignorant actually means, as if the people on the panel, i.e. me, you, Deb, Polite, and Sister Oprah, don't know what ignorant means, etc., etc. So the whole thing was strategic from the beginning, like him highlighting there's black women in his platform. There's white racists in your platform too. So what kind of, it's just, in light of him doing the slander show, now it just seems like everything was strategic to cause chaos and basically filibuster what was otherwise a very, very powerful show, powerful personalities, a meeting of the minds, bringing some light to the community, because there is a very big issue going on in the community. People come to me with their health issues. Mental health is very important, because not only does mental health has to be addressed in and of itself, but mental issues also become physical issues later on, and there's a correspondence between the two. So, like I said, I just wanted to bring that attention back to the fact that, of course, with your help, you know what I'm saying, Brother Dennis, Polite is bringing some powerful people to the family to discuss some real powerful topics. It's a shame that that kind of shit went on like that.
I think it's the universe has this way of operating in ways that is so subtle, we don't realize how we speak things into existence. I mean, this whole show was about cyberbullying and mental health. And then we have someone on here who many may believe is a cyberbully, who tap danced around where it applies to him through all the definitions. And also the mental health aspect of the things we do to destroy each other. I think if we pay attention to everything that transpired for the first 2 hours and change, and then we make an assessment of the last 30, 40 minutes, we probably get the whole story, and then we can actually pick apart where things go wrong. It's the universe's way of bringing us all together. So I don't think we were at loss for anything. I think it's actually there's a level of irony to it all.
You're right.
Universally,
you're right. You can't love yourself and hate your mother at the same time. So you are 100% right.
This is very interesting show. Very interesting. I love it. And Deb, man, she was a lot more than I anticipated, and that's all positive. I had no idea of her perspective. She has very great and well-rounded perspective, and she could communicate it in ways for a lot of people to process it. I really commend her for her perspective. She did excellent. I love listening to a lot of her answers, and considering her musical disposition in the business, her age, her gender, and that doesn't mean it's a slight to her because she's a woman. It means you don't see a lot of women speak with that conviction. When you combine all those things, I was in awe at her delivery and her overall viewpoint. And I think that was great for the people. When they watch this is something they definitely should share, because she gave a great deal of advice to everyone of every age. Yeah. I think it worked out very good. And in fact, if Tommy watches the beginning of the show, she gave him good advice. And she's very honest. She said he needs help, or he's hurt, he's damaged. I believe that. But and we're all hurt and damaged in some form. So that's true. Some of us more than others. But whatever the case is, we all have to admit we all damaged goods. No matter how great we are, we all damaged goods in some form. But she was amazing. I really, really, really was impressed. And what I wanted to say, but of course you couldn't get any word in edgewise, is Waka Flocka. He's in his own transformative state right now. He's vegan. Yeah. And I consider him conscious, and he's really got a lot of people to change their views for the positive because of his own growth And
That's right.
because he has a large viewership. He has 2.2 million people following him on Instagram alone.
Yeah.
And when he decides to eat better, he accomplished a task that many of us won't be able to accomplish on a smaller scale.
Yep.
Just by that. And by him doing that, when they encounter us, it'd be easier for them to assimilate the data because the person they're most receptive to has already made that transition.
Yep. There's a lot of people that came in saying, hey, listen, I seen Waka Flocka make a change. I want to make a change as well. And then he's using these platforms. It's not like he's doing it in private. He's speaking out every chance he get. So that just was really, that was just really, really, really.
And what's also crazy, pardon me, my brother, I wanted to say, what's also wild is that when Tommy speaks about bitches and hoes, he's reporting news. But when a rapper does it, he's not reporting what he's seen in his environment.
Wow.
I just think it's interesting, his perspective.
Man.
Just interesting. Because I thought rap was something you communicate to people based on your apperception captured in the art form. That's what I believe. What you see, capture it in the art form and say it in very compact or concise messages. That's what I thought it is. And maybe some of the messages are too excessive, granted. But everybody's entitled to those songs, at least an album or two in. Everyone's entitled because they have to grow. And then once you get the money, you get perspective, you start traveling, I expect to hear you say different things. And he's on that path. He said he went to Africa, I believe, and it changed his paradigm, changed his approach towards the world. And thus he decided to make more change. And he also changed the way he was eating. So
I think Tommy owes, if nobody else.
Watch this. The same way Tommy said, can you tell me what's my last show? It's the same way I wanted to say, do you know the last things Waka been speaking about? You see, it comes back so many different ways.
Man.
But you can't get a word in edgewise with the brother because you could use his own words to cut him up. You feel what I'm saying?
He owes Oprah a big apology because he just went berserk on her saying that she was losing his mind. And he had no proof of that except for the fact that she's a dark-skinned woman on the panel. And let me tell you this, just from me being so dark, there are people that feel threatened by me, even just for me just being there. So if a man has an issue with a woman, you looking beautiful, you being dark, you being powerful, you being able to articulate yourself well, sometimes that affects people.
And who knows if he wasn't muting his own damn mic.
Dennis said he was doing it. Dennis said
I had to ask him to unmute his mic. That's what I was doing. I was asking him to unmute it because I couldn't unmute it.
That was crazy.
I couldn't unmute his mic. I had to ask him to unmute it.
I thought he was muted. I thought he was being respectful. Yeah, I didn't even know he was muted. I thought it was him trying to give somebody else the floor to talk. Then he said he was muted. I'm like, oh. I had my phone in my hand.
Okay, listen. I would say for the record, I muted Tommy. I muted your mic. You were becoming unhinged, and I had to mute your mic. That was my job, and I muted your mic.
Listen, yo, but
it wasn't Oprah. Your Oprah apology. I normally don't do that, but I didn't like the way the way this was going, and that's what I'm paid for. He didn't pay me for it.
He's not gonna apologize to me. What he's gonna do is continue to bash women. He says, "Oh, the people are saying he made his money from white people," but what you do is you disrespect black people, especially women, and then you get views off that and you make your money that way. So in a retrospect, it's still all a form of white supremacy. You're still receiving funds from white supremacist viewpoints. Like I just looked at his timeline, and he put a video, white women exposing black women. It's like, if that ain't white support, I don't know what is.
Yo, he be coming on here really. You be feeling for him too if this is your first show. You be like, damn, man, why they fucking with this brother?
Well, listen, he had me going. He had me going. Listen, this is why I'm saying you got to get a reality TV show, Polite, because nobody can write this type of shit. This right here, like seriously, nobody can write this. Nobody can put these personalities in one room together and create this type of dichotomy where you have a guy spend an hour saying, people are attacking me. Look, They're getting me in the chat. They're saying something about my mom, who's a pastor. Just last show, he said his mom was a bitch and a whore. Now this show, his mom is a pastor. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on right here? And although that might be true that she's a pastor, it's the context that he tried to use to sway the audience as if he's a victim. And then,
but how can he expect somebody? How can he expect somebody to respect his family if he disrespects his family?
Listen, the strategy is this. I'm coming on a platform.
Yeah.
They not only don't follow me, they probably are aware of me to some extent because of what POLIGHT teaches. It's so opposite that people normally show you the opposite of what someone's teaching, right? So that's one. And then for the other people that don't know me, here's an amazing strategy. I'm going to come into this thing and enforce the idea that I'm constantly being ridiculed, constantly being attacked. People are constantly going after my family, constantly going after my child. This is what I'm going to build up. So by the time if anyone tries to bother me, I would have already won some people over so they can have empathy for me and even wonder why the hostess, and everybody else is going in. It's great strategy because he comes in straight out the gate. Hey, I'm Tommy Sotomayor and I'm abused. Like, this is like some kind of crazy meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I just want everyone to know that people been kicking my ass for the past several years. I have no idea why they're doing this to me. I don't know what I've said. I don't know what I've done. This bullying. I'm not actually going out my way to embarrass people. I'm using things that's already up. Okay, cool. And, you know, then when we get out of that, look at them. They're in the chat room fucking with me all over again. Look at them. You see what they're doing there? They're not doing that in my chat. And meanwhile, he has someone in his chat room trying to clean up during that hour. He'll clean up everything. So and then I say, look, you know these people talking crazy about me? No. Well, I thought you said it's going on over here and people don't do it over there. No, I'm saying they're erasing it. You didn't say that prior. You're always saying this bullshit. Now that I caught your ass and screenshot it, now you want to tell me people are erasing it. You see this guy, yo, he got game. He got a lot of game, but he don't like dealing with someone fast. He don't like dealing with that. He like dealing with ratchet black women to preference younger than him, who are not as calculative and seasoned in these kind of dialogues. He like that. But Dev handed him a new one positively. And then we are not combative. We let him do what he do. And I don't think he's used to people just letting him come in and do what he do. I don't think he's used to that. I think he comes in expected to be attacked. And over here, it's just, he's still trying to figure out this platform. The only thing he can do with this platform is say, the people in the chat are bothering me.
and Oprah.
He's interesting. Thank you, Oprah, you did an amazing job as always. Just observing and not feeding into the stereotypical views that he
Thank you.
about black women. What the heck was that? That was you, Oprah, because you just threw mute on there on the low.
I live downtown. I live downtown LA.
Okay,
This is downtown.
I want to thank one other. Polite. I want to thank one other person that I would be remiss if I didn't. I want to thank Aminette for not jumping in and saying, Polite, you should have stopped it.
Oh, Dennis took a shot. You know she's going to get you, Dennis, for that.
I see you over there, Aminette.
You know she's going to get you for that.
I know she is.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Aminette.
Hey, yo, Ink, when does your flight leave? Ink's coming to Cali.
Hey, I'm scared to tell everybody online, but I'll be there shortly.
Don't put it out there. Don't put it out there. Don't put it out there.
Yeah, you know, they'll send a bunch of emails to the airport.
Right.
And they say, Iggy got some crazy ass water, terrorist water or some shit.
Like, yo, get him. He's flying out of New Jersey.
He has a bunch of laptops in his fucking kid.
The Sabi laptop will be en route.
He only steals laptops from scholars. Scholars beware. Oh man.
Family.
Oh my God.
See, I tried to avoid it.
I said a laptop in Best Buy. It was in Best Buy.
But with that being said, I tried to avoid it. But with that being said, let's close out with this amazing video. Now we stop.
Oh man.
But you're amazing, my brother. Thank you for getting on. Those people that be like, what the hell is Inky doing that? Why is he there so much? Because that's my homie. And this is the type of platform, I like having familiar faces on the platform. You don't always only have to hear me. I like to have other people chime in.
You know what? I don't think people are used to people actually living and socializing and loving and friendship. Like they don't, I think that people are so used to the lecture where everybody comes to the lecture and then everybody goes home and everybody's strangers the moment the lecture's over. They don't really know how to deal with people that really actually deals with each other, like your children and my children, and like they don't understand that we have a life outside of this. You know what I'm saying? Like it confuses people.
Exactly.
That Tommy Sotomayor and Brother Polite debate is coming up. Keep it in mind.
Man.
Intense. You know how I get when we in the building. So you see this, all this online. People do this all the time with me online. Oh man, you let him be too aggressive. Polite. Oh man, y'all just gotta watch all the other pre-debates and online debates, because when we get in the building, that's when I come in with all the scholarship, the bravado, the showmanship. You know, I'm cool right now. There's no need for all that. You don't scare people off. I've been doing this for a long period of time. I've ended debates by accident, like this thing that happened with the young guy. You know, even I thought I was being light and I still was going too heavy on him, man. You know, I mean, he's such a damn fool, this young Pharaoh guy. I'm with Oprah while he's trying to, I'm taking Oprah to a basketball game to sit courtside. He's trying to contact her to get on his show. Stupid motherfucker, boy. And I know when the video and the pictures went up, he had to say to himself, oh shit. That means this nigga probably next to her. The whole time I was sending her messages to try to get her to go against Polite. Them niggas is sitting courtside at a basketball game. I'm like, yo, tell him this. It's like so stupid. I literally could say, oh, Oprah, do me a favor and tell that nigga this for fun. This is how sad it is, man. And I knew he was going to do a bunch of videos after that, because you have to be embarrassed at that point when you realize, oh shit, everybody was kind of hanging out that same day. I'm asking her to get on the show and aggressively get on the show. Get on the show. Please speak. I'm like, nigga, if only he knew.
Right, we live the consciousness. So it's not only, we're not just conscious for the video. After this, we go and eat together and play ball together and work out together and party together and children mingle together. Like this is not just online.
Yeah, we actually hang out. Yeah, we actually cool. Like this, we're different. We're not them people who act like they so in a state of being a shaman. Yeah, because these Negroes, they run and hide. Why does Dennis always duplicate himself over here? 1 minute someone's shooting a picture of us. Thanks for the ease over here on the other screen.
Yo,
so yo, listen. Shamans, these leaders, and then if you catch them doing some regular socializing, they damn near catch a heart attack. Like, oh shit, you didn't see this.
Apparently, Polite, I'm sorry to cut you off. Apparently, Tommy has taken a page out of Young Pharaoh's book and is on live right now for him.
Tommy's live now. They all do this.
Man.
Yo, good luck. Good luck to you, Tommy, man. Good luck. They do this. This just goes to show I still got the sauce. You know, every time people get on I Am Brother Polite, live right after.
Who went live? My internet at my hotel keep going down.
Tommy's live right now.
Tommy just went live.
Tommy's live.
Yo, I be in their mind.
He's mad. He is mad.
Live reaction to Brother Polite, Damn Antney, and Tommy Sebastian. This is right. This is right. I mean, damn, these people, they live on the internet, boy.
I tell you, man. Can't be them like that.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on. You said that jokingly, Polite, but I think that's a big part of the problem. You see, we have lives outside of this internet thing. So I think that also provides a huge buffer to deal with trolls and personal attacks when you could just shut your laptop down, power button, and then you still have a life. If all you have is internet and social media, you don't have that buffer. So if somebody says something about you in the chat, you come apart. If somebody says something about you, you know, you got to launch your live stream right now to combat the live. You know, you got to, I mean, you have nothing else but people's opinions online. It's sad if people are really only living on the internet. It's sad. And I don't care how much money people make. Oh, yo, I'm making more money than you. I made $1 million. I made $2 million. It's sad if all you have is internet life, period. That's really sad.
Hey, like my man says, some people are so poor, all they have is money.
Mm.
We're going to close on that note. We're going to close on that note.
Peace, peace, family. Peace, peace.
Peace, peace.
Peace.
With that being said, oh, you're right about that reality TV show. Oh my goodness, man. We got so many characters. If we put like 6 of these conscious people all in the same house and just recorded them, things that they do, the people they be trolling, you know, you know, and what we'll do if we got 6 of these guys together, everybody doing videos on me. And the other one would be edited video. I'm about to expose this nigga.
And I'll be muting them out.
Yo, man, so we're gonna get out of here.
I gotta go do my other job, watching what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
So guys, I'll be back. I gotta go to another channel real quickly.
All right, man. I'm hanging it up. I'll see you later. Thanks a lot for everything.
Looking forward to seeing y'all again soon.
You already know. You already know.
Thank you, Oprah. Thank you.
I see you today. You already.
Once they show right after, we've already won. Later, man. The internet world knows no time, man. I be like, shit, do they got anything else going on?
No.